I'm just a humble spectator here to enjoy the show. I
Yeah,
am the live studio
ignore
audience.
that person that's in Deja's spot today. She's
Couldn't.
wearing new makeup.
Wow.
And
Oh,
and
oh my God, guys!
oh, my heart. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Radical Robo Rock Rangers. This is the plus one shots teens with attitude. Did I scare you?
No.
Okay, you held your heart like I killed you. This is the plus one shot teens with attitude game run by me, James, and we will be going through the Radical Robo Rock Rangers' Power Ranger-like adventures. We are currently on episode 5 of technically 7 that we've done, kind of. It's fun. And with me here are all of my wonderful Rangers, and I just want to do a few shout-outs before we get into the going down the list of folks. I want to give a shout-out to our friend Kaylin Targaryen Art for her lovely art portraits that she did of our characters for us. I also want to give a shout-out to David Brunel Brutman for creating Teens with Attitude. It's a very fun little system that has a bunch of character sheets that let you really get into the feel of the radical 90s TV shows that we all know and love, or at least we all know and love. If you don't know them, why are you here? With that,
If you don't know them, we made them up.
Yeah, no, we did this completely original, all ours. Don't
Original
ask.
OC, do not steal.
And with that, I'm going to pass it over to the person in player one spot today. That is going to be Kenny.
Hey there, I'm Kenny. Y'all know me. Y'all know me, y'all. Maybe some of you love me. I'm a lovable goof who's also really good at sports. And I got a heart of gold, let me tell you, because I am the Gold Ranger.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And that is, of course, Aaron playing the character. Next up,
No, I am just Kenny. I am
No.
I'm a method actor now. I have become Kenny.
wonderful.
There is no Kenny, only Zool.
Aha.
All right.
All right, and from that, we're going to go ahead and pass over to Charles.
Wait, am I
Elijah.
Charles or am I Elijah?
Oh, God,
Yeah,
why
I
are we
don't know.
doing this? Just intro yourself.
Hi, hello. I am the Platinum Ranger, so I have a heart of platinum. Probably worse than gold. Yeah.
Depends on if you're a
probably.
car or not. If you're a car,
Yeah.
that's really good.
A little heavier,
Yeah,
but
and
less
then it'll
prone
be
to
stolen
rust.
too.
Good conductor.
Yeah, I'm the catalytic converter. But yeah, so Elijah is a weirdo, and he's very in tune with magic, and he's here, and no one believes him, but they're learning. I think some of you are coming around. Maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and shoot to Michelle, skipping one.
Why ever would you skip one?
Shush, go.
Sup? I don't do introductions because I do what I want, and introductions is not what I want. I guess my name's Addie or something.
God
Fuck off.
damn it. All right, pass to Philip.
Hey, I'm Philip, and I'm playing Oishin. People often mispronounce it and say Ocean, but he corrects them every time, regardless of what they say. He is the Brainiac and the Blue Ranger, and he's pretty excited because he's starting to make some friends, and that's a new thing for his life. So, go Oishin.
Always exciting for Ocean. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest. Our guest is Ro today, also James. He plays on quite a few of the other games here at Plus One Shots. Ro, if you could give an introduction for yourself. Not your character.
Character? I don't know what you could possibly mean. My name is Ro. Alternatively, I am James. I am best known for playing Addie's other characters, very beautiful sister. Sister. I am a big old fan of the Rangies, so I'm here to experience live.
Actively observe.
Precisely. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
All right. And with that, we are going to go ahead and hit the opening theme song to our wonderful show. Radical Robo Rock Rangers themes plays in the background. You get a splash of everybody. You don't see Deja this time, and instead you see, including special guest, and you see as a face whips around into the camera with a ponytail flicking behind it. And it says, special guest, Steve, played by actor name. And as we move forward, you get the classic play-in music, which, by the way, I did ask about the thing we were thinking about, and I have not received a response yet. So there's still no music in the background, but we're working on it. You hear
Somebody's camera went away.
Oh no, that's
We
gonna
lost
ruin
Aaron.
everything.
Guess this. Fix your camera.
Do, 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 do.
And that's the most we're allowed to play. Wait, hold on.
Yep.
I can play something. Hi. Yeah. A little louder than it normally is. I'm going to turn that down. Hey, welcome back. And
No
now
idea why that happened.
And now that I'm the game master again, we're going to keep going. You zoom into to the high school, the nondescript high school name that just has high school there, and it's like covered by a tree. And then zooms into the classroom with all of you sitting in the same class, because all of you are obviously in the same homeroom. And
Obviously.
with
It's
that,
a small town. There's really only 1 or 2 classes, so like the chances are pretty high.
yeah, exactly. And even though you're not all in the same grade, and not all in the same curriculum, and not all in the same anything, it doesn't matter because we're in a TV show and you're all in the same homeroom class.
Mhm.
Plot.
It's a special like convergence of classes for some reason.
Yep. So anyway, you have your homeroom teacher, and what is her name?
Mrs. Pennyworth.
Mrs. Pennyworth? All right, she's an old stuffy British lady.
You've done this.
I have.
Well, class, as you all know, we have our school trip coming up to go snowboarding down the mountain, and unfortunately, I've received a note from Deja. Her family is going off on a water skiing trip, and they will not be in town for this. Sad that they'll miss it, but I have some good. Quiet down, you. But I have some good news, and that is that we have a foreign exchange student coming in for the week. And go ahead and come into the class, young man. And you see. Go ahead and describe an entrance here for me, Ro.
Yeah, so there is no entrance for a moment, actually. There's
Hello?
like a moment passes, and then like the door like opens, and he kind of walks in. And is like, "You talking to me, Teach?"
Yes, come forward to the front of the class and introduce yourself so that everyone can get to know you better. This is our foreign exchange student. His name is Steven. Oh, hold on, I have it here somewhere.
G'day, my name's Steve, and he walks in, and this guy, he's wearing like, he's like a relatively tall, kind of fit teen, like you can see he's got some muscle. Like, he's got like the shadow of a beard coming in, like he's got like, but it's like the scraggly teen beard. He's got the long hair, obviously, kind of like, a little bit below his shoulders, like kind of like the dirty kind of dishwater blonde, very cool. Got the headband. He's like got a singlet on, like just splashed with the Billabong logo, board shorts, cool sneakers, the whole lot. And of course, he's got like the backpack over one shoulder, and he's got his skateboard like tucked under one arm.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, so he stands up and is like, "Yeah, g'day. My name's Steve. I'm I don't know. I guess I'm an exchange student from good old Australia, or whatever. Nice to I don't know, be here."
You ruined it. I was gonna fake being a different student. Are you from England? But you just told them where you're from.
I mean, do you usually get exchange students for just a week? That sounds weird.
It's a very special program. Go ahead and have a seat for me, Steve.
All right, Steve. Like, it doesn't matter if there are free seats at the back of the class. Steve specifically takes a seat to the back of the class. And like, he puts his feet up on the desk and he kind of like pays half attention as he like pulls a Tamagotchi out of his pocket.
We already have a
Alright.
rebel row.
Ah.
There's a song about this.
With
Rebel,
a
rebel.
row.
I was about to say about Tamagotchis. Probably, yeah.
All right, and At this point, I want to have 2 exchanges regarding Steve's entrance into the class. Just quick quip back and forth. One between Elijah and Oisin.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean, like quip? Just like we're talking about him?
First thing came to you.
Expositional. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, so who's this new guy? This is weird, right? Like, we don't normally get exchange students in the middle of the year, right before winter break, do we?
No, but I guess if you can get to go to school for one day and then go on break, I would do that.
But I mean, he's missing out on so much opportunity to learn like cool stuff that we might have here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So much cool stuff. Right. I mean, it maybe he just wanted to go on a vacation.
Like, oh, I guess that's true. It's because I guess it's pretty warm down there, right? It's like their summertime.
Right. Wait a second. You see him just kind of start calculating in his head. I wonder if he brought anything from home.
I'm sure he had to have. I bet that skateboard's probably, he probably brought that with him.
I've got some theories about the ley lines of the Southern Hemisphere.
Right, those things, ley lines.
I'm gonna let you roll on that later.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, and so now I need one between Addie and Kenny. Because I assume that you two sit next to each other to get into mischief, probably in the back of the class.
Okay.
No? Yes?
So he like, I mean, obviously Addie sits in the back of the class because Rebel.
Yeah.
Or maybe she sits in the front because she's actually really smart.
So as you see an Imagine beat bopping in Steve's head as he has his feet kicked up on his desk playing with a Tamagotchi. And in the foreground, we see Addie kind of turn over to Kenny.
Who do you think he is just coming to the back of my classroom?
I thought that doesn't seem like something you would care about, right? Like, is it your classroom? I mean, who cares? You don't even like classrooms, right?
Yeah, but like on Thursdays, that's where I put my backpack.
Is it Thursday? Kenny looks at his watch, even though he's like he's looking for the time of day, like what day it is, and not the time. He's like, is it Thursday?
No, that's not my shit's not there now. But tomorrow,
It's gonna
I'm gonna
really
need that
cramp your
spot.
style.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just weird that like you don't get exchange students for like a day. Like, if it was like he's here starting today, but he'll be back and we'll learn all about him next time. But like, unless you're like, even if you're just like going through a town, like when we moved here, we stopped like at other places for like a day or two. And it's not like I had to register for school for a day.
I mean, obviously, he's probably gonna. I mean, it's an exchange program. Plus, we've seen weirder shit recently. In fact, it's not that strange.
Yeah, but we've seen weirder shit that like adults aren't privy to. That like has to do with aliens. Like adults don't let weird stuff like this happen unless they can like make money out of it. And I don't think like he's gonna do like.
If it's an exchange program, there probably is some sort of money thing happening. Like, we'll send you a kid. You send us, I don't know, some better technology. Australia sucks, right?
For like a day though.
Did the teacher really say for a day?
She said a week.
Everybody's like jumping to conclusions here.
I mean, just because it's right before the holiday, right?
Yeah, they're all.
Does the holiday count towards the week?
Y'all leave on Friday. It's a class trip, a la, gosh, what's a good analogy for this? Like, has anybody ever been to a band meet?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So like, you know how you block time out for that sort of thing, and then it's a class trip where you're all gonna go up to do skiing, snowboarding at one of the nice mountains in the area.
Maybe somehow he heard that we have a cool class trip coming up, so he was like, I would specifically like to be in school for the class trip, and then he's gonna leave again. Maybe he's like rich or something.
Entirely possible.
That's exactly what Elijah thinks.
As,
Like,
as,
yeah, I'd do a
as
vacation.
Steve plays on the Tamagotchi, and we slowly we zoom to the Tamagotchi, and it's a little bit gray and distorted, and then we zoom back out, and we are in the villain's lair. Except it is just the shadowy figure upon their throne, pondering to themselves. All of my minions are useless to me. Perhaps someone else would be of service. And you see him hit like a view screen. And you see a silhouetted figure appear on it. And he looks over, and the silhouetted figure looks back over to him, equally menacingly, and goes, "Oh, well, I didn't expect to get a call from you so soon." Are you good, Michelle?
Each region of the world, like each major region of the world, has their own villain with their own stereotypical accent. Yeah, I like it. I'm into it. It's
Mhm.
good.
Welcome to the James Sentai Cinematic Universe.
Good for it. It's good.
And he.
It's like G Gundam.
Oh no, not G Gundam.
Oh, it's gonna be great, you guys. You're gonna love
Made
it.
me sad.
We made a British guy. He's got or we made an American guy. He's got boxing gloves and
Mhm.
hose. That's it.
Aren't we're American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the American Gundam. Jiminy Crockett.
And he had guns and football pads and a
Yeah,
surfboard
he was a football Gundam with boxing gloves.
Perfect.
and two guns,
Right.
two hand.
I think he was our first enemy, wasn't he?
Yep.
The sportsman. Yeah.
Basically, yeah, the Squirtsman. Yeah.
Mhm.
Squirtsman. Ugh, that fucking
The
name.
Squirtsman, yeah.
The shadowy figure looks to the second shadowy figure and says, "Yes, well, it seems that I am running low on options. I need boots on the ground, as it were." "Oh, you do? And what's in it for me?" "I tell you what, you help me with my problem, I'll help you with yours. Get someone to me that can help me get rid of these meddlesome rangers, and I'll help you with the slap force."
It's a pun. Did you say the slap force?
I don't know what you're talking about. And then you hear maniacal laughter back and forth
God,
in
why
the
can't we use
background as
slap
they
force?
crescendo towards each other, echoing throughout the hall. And it cuts back. Now I need a downtime activity, and it's going to have to involve Steve. So it's one of you with Steve.
Well,
Slap force.
so you're saying, so I'm guessing Steve is the skater type.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you'd probably get along real well with the.
We don't need to beat around the bush. Yeah, Ro, do you want to tell him what tree you chose or what playbook you chose?
Yeah, I chose the slacker.
Fair
I would
enough.
never have guessed.
There you go.
Yeah. So you'll probably get along well with the rebel.
All right, so I'm just gonna walk over there.
Well, let's cut to a different scene. Where do you want to be when you finally approach this person?
It's gonna be in the classroom, right at the
Oh,
end of class.
jeez,
as-
okay.
As the bell goes off,
Okay,
I'm gonna
bell-
get right up, walk over, and do the thing, right on the desk. You know.
Okay. Slap hand
Hey.
down on desk.
Hey,
Oh,
I need
g'day.
this spot tomorrow. This is my spot tomorrow. Got it?
Little mean
I don't
girl
know,
energy.
mate. I don't see your
Mhm.
name written on it.
You see your names written on anything? This is an elementary school.
Oh, no, I don't see names written on anything that's not elementary school, so...
Point of fact, you
yeah.
could very easily see people's names written all over a high school, but go on.
Okay, tell you what. I've got the problem solved. Just done, all right? Like, I'm going to sit here tomorrow. You're going to move your stuff somewhere else.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
All right, I need to cut to tomorrow now. Tell me how this plays out.
This is some real mean girl like Deja
Mhm.
energy.
I-
What is up with
I-
this?
I want to have... Do we want to roll for this? How does everyone feel?
Yeah.
I was gonna say we
Okay.
should do the old like Batman scene switch where it's like the like comes flying at you. Just a clock showing that the time has changed.
But instead of having a clock, what it is it's a very intricate watch that swirls toward the screen and back out.
Yeah.
Is it a swatch?
Oh, that's another thing I should mention.
Oh.
Steve, as part of his outfit, has a watch on with a very thick wristband, and it's like a bulky digital watch.
Does it have
fact,
a
he-
number
he-
of buttons?
In fact, he was
Suspicious?
probably playing with it like that was his Tamagotchi. It may have been suspicious. Who knows?
Okay.
I had a watch like that in high school. It played music.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice.
His plays Tamagotchi.
All right. Are we rolling off? I
Oh,
guess
man.
Addie's just gonna try and get there earlier.
I feel like for this roll, however it turns out, I feel like it's a cool roll off, right? Because one of
I
you's
think
gonna
so.
end up being cooler than the
Mhm.
other in this situation.
Yeah.
All right.
Fine with me.
All right, so we each roll 2d6.
And don't forget your modifier, whatever it is.
Oh, there we go. I got a 7.
I got a 9 with the modifier.
There you go. All right, so Addie, how do you one up the new kid tomorrow? Day
Such
before
an
this.
asshole.
Yeah, you are. Day before the trip. What do you do?
All right, so let's see. She's just gonna sit in the spot. Like, rather than
Okay.
try and be like, I need this desk and this desk, she's just gonna sit in the spot. All she needed to do was be like, this is mine if I want it. Get it? So she puts her butt there.
All right.
All right, and with that in mind, you come into the classroom and see that she's already firmly planted in the spot that you made for yourself.
Okay. So,
And remember, you do lose this exchange.
I am aware. Thinking how he would handle this, because he probably knows he's going to show up late anyway.
Yeah.
All right, he shows up. He's just been to like the juice bar or whatever. You know, he fucking comes into the classroom 5 minutes late. It's like, oh, sorry, teach.
Oh,
And he
that's
pointedly-
okay, I guess. Foreign
He
students.
pointedly sits down
What
in
do you mean
Addie's
that's okay, you
spot.
guess?
Like, he doesn't even look at her. He just like goes and sits in her spot.
Addie, don't disrupt class.
Yeah, Addie.
And he finds a peppermint stick thrown in his hair.
Oh, no. So you take her seat, but what you failed to notice was that there was already a peppermint stick on the seat.
No. She just threw it at him.
Oh, okay. Well,
As soon as there was like, yeah, Addie, there was like a toss.
it swirls around your ponytail and locks into place.
Oh no.
Festive.
All right, with that, you guys are going to have a rivalry tag moving forward in this episode. If at any point one of you does poorly at something, that will empower the other.
All
Oh,
right.
great.
This could be good or bad. But I mean, I feel like not only is this the Christmas episode, so red and green need to be having a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's just who the rivals are supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. No, this makes perfect sense. This is flawless.
I mean, does that mean that Steve is now sitting right next to Kenny? Because Addie and
is.
Kenny were sitting next
Yeah.
to each other.
He's like in between the two of them.
Yeah, you're in between.
Oh, I'm in between the two of them. Uh-oh. Great.
With that,
No.
Go ahead.
It's like Kenny, Steve, Addie.
Okay.
Oh, even better. All right, and with that, we're going to actually flash forward to the school trip. You see some very nice stock footage of a ski trip resort type of thing, and then you see an immediate interior of what looks like probably a cabin at the snow lodge, but it looks kind of like they've themed it. We didn't exactly hit budget on this, so we've got some festive, like there's like a deer hanging over what should be a fireplace, and it's there. The fireplace isn't really on per se, and It's because it would be a fire hazard, and this isn't a real room. So, with all of that in mind, you all are now at the ski lodge, and I would like to have a downtime from somebody else if I could.
Still including Steve?
This one doesn't have to, but it can if you want.
Talk to whoever you want, man.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh no, Elijah one day is going to ask him about the rocks of the Southern Hemisphere. I don't know if that has to be right now or not. If anyone has anything else to do.
You're at a ski resort, so anything fun
Yeah.
you want to be doing, feel free. If you want to have it out on the ski slope too, we can stretch the budget a little bit.
If we're at the... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Philip.
I was gonna say Oishin would probably need tips on how to ski. You know, he's read
buddy.
about it. He's read it on skis and snowboards, but has never actually been on skis or snowboards. So ice skates would probably be as close as he's ever gotten.
Oh yeah, we do have
As anybody.
the Rock River rink. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because isn't our national sports team is a hockey team along the beach?
It's a
Field
hockey
hockey.
and field
Oh,
hockey.
field hockey.
It's both. We can have both, but field hockey's the good one. So are you pulling someone else into the scene with you, or are you trying to just get this done on your own? What's up?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone thinks that their character would know what a good, they'd be good at skiing and would want to give some help.
I feel like Kenny might. I feel like Kenny is very much like anything physical or outdoorsy. Kenny has tried it
And excels at.
So yeah, if like Oshin's like looking to skis, Kenny does have a snowboard. Like I imagine when he is not practicing, he likes to do a little downhill. So he's got his snowboard. He's trying to teach Oshin about like, using your hips and like carving and stuff like that. Like,
so I picture the two of us, like Oishin in skis, like in the lodge, right? Because it's cheaper. Just like, and you're trying to like on a rug or something, trying to have him do like the in and out in or whatever.
Yeah, he like at one point he like puts his hands on his hips and is like literally moving him back and forth. Like, all right, so you're gonna come down like this, and like if you want to slow your momentum, you kind of like kick your feet out like this a little bit to like carve into the snow and slow yourself down.
Oishin's like, okay, is that like what kind of a triangle? Is it like acute, or are we going like like how much of an angle do I need on this triangle to slow me?
I mean, I need to push to talk, so I can't do it. But like one of these.
Okay, I see. So so sort of like an equilateral. We're going for like equilateral triangle here.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, I gotta see it in my head. I gotta see it in my head so that I know what I'm doing.
No,
I know
I totally get that. That's not how I learn, but like if that's how you learn, you can think of it that way. So you just need to like use whatever math you're really good at, like like speed and like momentum and stuff like that. I'm sure you'll pick it up easy. Like once you figure out like X plus Y equals don't fall on your ass.
Yeah, acceleration is distance over time. But I mean, yeah, no, I get it.
There's a half pipe in the background. Just off nowhere, we suddenly see a shot to feet on a snowboard. The boots for the snowboard and the snowboard itself are both green. Ro, if you could describe what sick nasty move you hit on the half pipe as you're in the background of their shot.
A snow half pipe?
Yeah,
It's a
half
thing.
pipe.
They're a real thing.
Okay.
They happen at ski resorts all the time, especially good ones.
Yeah, no, he's coming down the slopes and like he hits that half pipe and like comes up, does like a 180, and as he comes down again, he doesn't go back down the slope. He catches on like the edge and like does a grind.
Nice.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Go ahead and roll fit for me, and go ahead and add your bonus. So
And
what
this is
that
my
is,
thing, isn't it?
it is. So go ahead and do the 2d6 and
Roll
take the
for it.
better. All right.
10.
And with the 10, he absolutely goes up, does the 360, lands the slide, and then goes back down. And it goes back to you guys' scene.
You see Oishin like trying to like jump a little bit to go from like straight to the triangle, to the straight, to the triangle. And then he like overcompensates and like the back ends like catch. And he's like, ah! Just starts to fall backwards.
Ken, you'll grab him. It's all right, man. Like once you get the motion, it'll be a lot easier because snow moves a lot easier than carpet does.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I know I'm gonna look weird out there, but I don't make a fool of myself.
I mean, there's small slopes. You can start on a small slope. They're not gonna make you like do a double diamond to start. That's silly. That happened to me, and I fucked my arm up real bad. True story about Aaron.
I knew it. I was like, a double black diamond. That's not good.
It wasn't a double, but it was definitely a single, and I definitely hit a lip of ice and sailed across like 10 feet of open air.
Snowboard?
Yes, and then slammed into the ground so hard that I lost my hat and goggles. I thought I broke my arm. I had to walk down.
For anybody who's never, skiing is easy because it is how your body is used to moving. Snowboarding is hard because not only do you not have the ability to stand like you would with your feet normally, but also snowboards only gain traction on soft snow. So if you hit a patch of ice, you don't do anything because you can't cut into it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I was toe cutting, and I hit ice and just went straight off the edge.
Yep, straightforward.
That's what happened. Oh gosh. All right, so you have that nice little scene, and I'm gonna give you both an assistance bonus going forward. That because you're helping each other out, one of you can basically give a free help to the other without having to describe how you do it.
Oh, very cool.
Without having to spend any attitude. I haven't been giving out attitude yet. What's going on?
We haven't really done a whole lot of one-liners yet.
That's true.
But there has been sass.
There has been sass. Attitude for Ro and Michelle.
Lovely.
Okay.
I'm gonna get one by default, though.
Yes, you start with one.
You start with one. All right. That is a second downtime.
Like I said, Elijah will attack him.
Do it.
Go
All right.
ahead.
Well, he was just snowboarding very successfully, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So then I want to set this after everybody's back, in for a moment, who knows how long, maybe there's a class or something. And there's a chance to kind of just talk.
Okay.
Is that cool? Cool.
Yeah.
Well then, Steve, you see Elijah, who is just bundled up head to toe. This is not his element. In a gray cable knit sweater, very jaunty cap, but it's got like little cassettes and other musical things on it. And so Elijah comes up to you, Steve, and he's holding something in his hands, and you can't quite tell what it is, but it looks kind of like a rock.
All right.
And he says, "Hey, you're the new guy, right?"
Oh, I'm certainly a new guy, yeah.
Fair. He realizes, wait a second, this is the guy, right? Yeah, he's got the accent. You're muttering to himself. Could you just hold this rock for me for a second?
Yeah, he reaches out to accept the rock.
All right. So as you're holding it, it is. Can I say that it's green?
Sure.
Sure. It's got multiple colors in there, but green is one of the main colors because it's a healing crystal. And Elijah says, "All right, I want you to think about home, like whatever that means. I guess kangaroos."
Oh yeah, hop mice. Yeah,
Wait, is that what you guys call them?
yeah. What do you call them?
Oh,
Kangaroos? Oh, did you just make that up, mate? Come on.
Oh, ours is longer. So Elijah's gonna try to get the
I'm
411.
so mad that you're doing this because I know what you're doing, bro.
So Elijah's just gonna try and get the 401 to see if this guy has a positive aura, negative aura, just kind of getting a quick reading.
Okay.
So I'll roll for that. One moment, because I have there it is. So total of 8 plus at least 1. Let me get this open. Plus 1, yeah.
And this is
get the 411 on this person, and I get to ask you a question, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And are you? I believe you're also doing something else with this, aren't you?
Well, yeah, it depends on the answer to the question.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Let's see. So you're holding a crystal, and how seriously do you take this, Steve?
Much like everything in my life, not very.
Mm-hmm.
Seems about right.
You don't see much of a physical reaction from the rock at all.
Okay.
But
yeah,
you did succeed on a 411 check, so ask your question.
So Elijah was wondering, does he have some sort of weird energy because he's from the southern hemisphere? Is there something weird about his aura?
Is there something weird about his aura?
Yeah.
I
That's
would
hemispherist.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's because of the different constellations in the night sky. I don't want to get into it.
I'm gonna say, God damn it, you're gonna do this to me, aren't you?
I don't know.
Let's see. So there is something interesting about his aura. It is not. You know that when someone's holding a crystal, they have to actually be focusing on it to give any energy to it.
Yeah.
But you felt like a warp in the ozone around you. You know that he has the potential to. He doesn't seem to care.
It's because there's a hole in the ozone there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Down in Australia.
Yeah, there definitely would be a
like
hole
lasers.
in this time
You have to watch
period.
out for the sky lasers, right?
Yeah, it's letting in extra energy. It's why he just actively, passively activates.
Is he like saying this stuff out loud?
Muttering a bit, yeah. So he definitely would. Go ahead.
Steve is actually going to cut in. He's going to nah, mate. You got it all wrong. It's because our energy spins backwards. Because of the hemisphere.
Right, you're right. The Coriolis effect.
No, exactly. It's just spinning backwards, mate. Come on.
That's why everybody from the southern hemisphere is left-handed.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you mind?
Right, God.
Do you mind? So Elijah's lost in thought and then goes, do you mind? You're going to be in school for a while, I assume. You're not just here for the vacation, although that's what I would do.
Well, nah. Actually, I'm staying at the school in the town over, but it's been closed for the week because of an accident. So
Ah, right. This is the best I could hope for. So here's what I need you to do. I want you to hold on to that rock.
All right, I'll hold on to your globo.
You don't have to hold it at all times. Just keep it with you.
Yeah. Sure. All right. Is it a very big rock?
No, it's like fist size, maybe.
All right.
That is a big rock.
That is a huge rock.
Okay. Big rock.
You're asking the guy.
Do you mean this, you can fit it in your fist?
Yeah, you can hold it without.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Even though we're in the snow, he's wearing cargo shorts still, and he's just going to put the rock in one really big pocket.
So right. Yeah. So just hold on to that for a while. Maybe a week or two. Do you like comics?
Yeah, mate. Comics are pretty good.
Well, there's this place called Comics and Cassettes. Is it Cassettes and Comics? It's Comics and Cassettes.
Comics and Cassettes.
All right. How about you just meet me there next week, right? I'll be there, I don't know, Friday.
Oh. All right.
Busy
mate.
Friday? Oh.
No, it's fine. Absolutely. Who even cares what I'm doing Friday? I'm meeting you now.
What? Well, thank you. This is great for my research.
Into Australians?
Elijah kind of takes a deep breath
if
and
I
goes,
say no, would that be better?
He takes a deep breath and he says, well, it's just the ley lines of the earth are related to the constellations in the sky because of the absorption of energy. Now, I'm just trying to figure out how different it is. Now you had a good point about the spin, and it could be the same energy. It could just be spinning a different direction or at a different axis, and he just keeps going until you stop him.
No, Steve is just going to kind of stand there, just
Okay.
like, yeah.
It,
Mhm,
Is the
All right.
established thing that anti-spiral and spiral exist? Because I'm gonna veto that.
I mean,
Oh, no,
He's
not
just
at
talking
all.
about toilet water, man.
yeah, just toilet water.
Literally,
Okay,
Steve was
good.
just fucking talking shit. Like, just
No, I know. I'm just
Coriolis
saying.
effect.
Charles has the ability with this 411 check to declare something true, and I can't stop him.
Yes.
So
Fair enough.
spiral.
Paranormal-
and
paranormal
negative spiral energy
investigator.
is true.
Yeah.
Paranormal investigator states when you get the 411 on something, you can make a guess about its alien or magical features. On a 7+, you're right.
Mhm. So it's got to do with spin. Thank you for that.
There you go.
We've already collaborated.
Crap.
But yeah, so he kind of goes off, and then after about a good 3 minutes, he stops and he goes, it's probably too much for one. Well, thank you for saying that you'll come by comics and cassettes next week.
oh, no worries, mate. Looking forward to it.
Well, I guess back to shredding, or yeah.
Maybe later. I'm not feeling it. Might take it easy a bit, but yeah, whatever. You do you. I'll see you around. Not like I'm going anywhere, right?
Right. And he just kind of walks off in his own head.
Fair enough.
And then he walks
There
off
he
in
goes.
physically also.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and so that's the interaction there. There was a 411 check where you determined that spiral has to do with power.
Or at least the spin of your energy.
The spin of your energy is something that creates strength.
And that's
Or
going to lead us to the next spin-off,
discerns
Radical
things.
Robo Rock Rangers Spin Force.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Not slap force, spin force.
That's right.
Yeah,
They're gonna
Slap
have-
Force is already TM
It's
apparently.
just going to be Beyblades. It's just going to be Beyblades.
Yeah,
No,
it really.
I veto now.
Wait,
No,
hold on. We could get caught up in the crossfire.
Oh, no, I
We
played
could-
that. Oh, no, I played
all
that
about
at
spin, too.
PAX.
Listen, we've
Oh.
all played it at one point.
I'm going to let you know right now that I've recently replayed Crossfire at PAX Unplugged with Kaylin and Lee and them. And I did get caught up in it. However, it was not as catchy as I remember it being.
Because
Oh.
you weren't 4.
I don't think I was 4 when I played it the first time either.
Well, like teenager maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
No.
you go hood though?
That's a very
No, I
old
went,
game.
yeah, and then the other person got sent to the Shadow Realm. Because that's what happens
Vanished.
in that commercial. He spins away, gone forever.
No, I'm just trying to give you more things to have, James. Now you have spin.
I do,
Enjoy.
and believe me when I say I have an immediate use for it.
Good.
Uh-oh.
With that in mind, you are going to we're going to cut away from this interaction as the two are parting ways from each other. Footprints in the snow. We have an eagle's eye view. We hear an eagle screech as we move over the lodge, and then back at the lodge we have an eagle's eye view that flies off into the distance, and then it zooms back in on a shadowy figure who has a pentagonal shape to their silhouette, and they are over a crystal ball, moving their hands back and forth and saying, "Well, now it seems like we have quite the party going on, and one of my favorite attendees is there. Hopefully I'll be able to find something amusing for him to play with." And you see in the crystal ball a zoom in on the lodge, and then a zoom in on a person, two people sitting in the lodge with Coco playing chess with each other. And he says, perfect. And you see him point at the ball, and there's a slight glow at one of the rook pieces on the chessboard, and two little eyes appear glowing red on it. And we pan away from
Cute.
that. With that, we are going to go ahead and have just a quick brush over to you specifically, Steve, as though you haven't been getting enough attention this episode, but This is what's in the planned script. So, Steve, you see, you hear a beep on your watch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Steve will check his watch.
Mm-hmm. It seems like there's an energy signature near you.
Oh, bugger. All right.
And so,
I mean, he thinks his ranger team isn't around, so he'll.
You actually hear a like the breaking static thing, and it's like, "Oi, Steve, you there?"
Yeah, no, he'll be like, "Oh, I can't hear you, mate. You
Oi,
come in,
Steve,
oh, bugger.
come on! I know you can hear me. You're the closest. You gotta take care of this one.
All right. I'll handle it, but don't say I never did nothing for you."
Oh, it'd be the first time I'll have to not say that, huh?
Yep, very first.
How's your trip going?
Oh, having a lot of fun. Oh, let me tell you though, there's this ginger lady getting on me frickin' nerves. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, I tell you what, there's gingers all around me. I'm over in Scotland for my trip. Bunch of funny, weird accents over there, eh?
Tell me about it. Oh, Yanks, mate. Yanks.
All of them. Anyway, cheers.
Oh, have fun. See you around.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is anyone not from Australia a Yank? Because he said Scotland. I'm not sure there's Yanks in Scotland.
I'm going to tell you right now that I appreciate that misstatement, and we're keeping it.
I just assumed that you were talking about the Americans.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was, but whatever. We're keeping it.
Yeah, no. Yanks and...
All Americans, Yanks. Don't tell the Americans
also,
that. But...
Scottish people, funny accents. Not Australian people, only Scottish.
Yeah, definitely.
Scots and Americans, funny accents.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 100%.
What did you say the other day about the American accent? It was like the milk toast of the English accent or something like that.
Yeah, it's like the vanilla ice cream.
I mean, vanilla's good.
Vanilla doesn't have an R on the back of it. Ah. It's fine.
The vanilla ice cream.
Ow. Okay, I'm sorry.
Neither does no.
All right, so with that out of the way, we're going into another downtime. Preferably not a Steve one this time. So someone on slopes doing something. I choose Addie. What are you doing?
Cool. So initially, Addie is not that interested in skiing. Until some tight ponytailed bitch is like, ugh. See Addie over there just sitting around, not doing anything. It's probably because she's too poor to know how to ski, and she's like, okay, time to learn how to ski.
Oh no. Is Desiree here and still being a bitch? Damn.
Probably.
That's
fair.
So yeah, at that point, she makes up some excuse about like says it out loud, not necessarily to anybody, but just all like, oh yeah, the best way to get ready for skiing is blah blah blah, blah bullshit, but sounds pretty good. And it also involves sitting around and drinking hot cocoa. So then she gets ready and she goes out on the slopes and she's like, I do not know what the fuck to do. But at that point, she whips out some glasses.
Ah.
And she's like, hey Al, you know how to ski?
I know 5 different variations of skiing techniques. All
Are
from
there
the
any that you
1976 Olympics.
That could be good. I doubt skiing has changed that much. Do you want to help me figure out how to do that verbally?
Sure. What you need to do to start. Aim yourself downhill.
Sure.
Make sure to not be too far to the side. Knees bent. Glutes braced. And put your skis together for maximum speed.
Anybody else have any advice?
Do you hit the call button?
There's a good
Call
chance.
button.
Yeah, there's a good chance too if Kenny was teaching Oishin inside that she saw a little bit of that lesson as well. So yeah, just gonna kind of make it up as she goes.
Okay. This could be.
I accidentally dropped my glasses and broke them.
Oh no! Bend it back into
Look out, a
shape.
Gold Ranger.
I mean, those things will bend back in place or snap, one of the two.
Fitty.
Hey, it's kind of good.
Thanks off Amazon, friends.
Mhm.
Sorry. What was that you said, Addie? I didn't. I only heard it call through. I didn't actually hear what you said.
I was just asking Al for advice on skiing.
Oh, can you just help me with that? You got to make an equilateral triangle. That's the best, most important thing. That's the stopping.
Hot dog and French fries is way easier than quadrilateral triangle.
But
Make
you'll
it
want
easy
to be
to
sure
slow
to
down, you make French
maximize your
fries to go
speed.
fast.
And make sure to brace against going around the flags. It doesn't matter if you touch them. As long as your skis don't, you won't be deducted points.
I think that's the slalom. I don't think she's doing a slalom yet.
Oh, I can't see what you're doing. I'm sorry.
You use your poles and tuck them under your arms.
Well, in
They're
that
used for
case, then what
stabilization.
you
Shut
want-
up, Al.
He starts to describe how you do the long jump. Tucking
The one that has the
as you can.
rifle.
If that's not your sport of choice, you could always try the shot put. No. All right, so she kind of sort of like sporadically listens to what everyone's saying in that whole like what? And then she just takes her glasses off.
Oh,
Hot
I
dog
was
French
trying.
fries.
I was trying to figure out how Elijah could say "feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme," but no, that's fine. No cool runnings today.
something Bob.
You said it, though.
time.
You said it though, so attitude.
No.
Yes, you said feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. I'm giving you attitude. You have to take it.
Fine. Don't worry, I'll
Fine,
quote it
I'll
more.
take a point. Oh, okay.
Oh,
right.
Also attitude point for Ro for sitting through my terrible Aussie accent.
We all had to sit through that. How come he gets the point?
Because he knows how bad it was.
I'm the one who was personally offended by it.
Yes.
All right, well, she's going to give skiing a try. She's not going to try like overexert herself. She's not going to try a hard course. She's not stupid.
Are you sure?
You know what?
Because
she's gonna be on the
could
bunny slopes.
Always be a daredevil.
I could.
Yeah.
And you know what? The more she thinks about it, if she does screw up on the hard course, like
Who's
so
gonna
do
who's gonna
professionals.
show you up? No one else here.
Yeah.
Bunch
Yeah.
of nerds who don't know how to ski as well.
I guess it's time to go.
Kenny's on the hard course.
Kenny can shred, man. He's on the moguls, just like. Foom, 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 foom.
Like,
Right.
yeah, I guess they don't go down at the same time because Kenny's still teaching Oshin, but he will definitely go later. So if like anything happens, he can just slide by.
Sure.
Hey.
We see
All right.
now whether or not you get snow knocked onto you is your busted ass.
I'm not busted ass yet.
No, I'm saying if you do.
All right, 2d6.
Uh-huh. Plus fit.
That's a 9. And
All right.
actually, hold on. I'm gonna use an attitude point and have my
Make it
thing
be a
be rad
10.
as hell.
Okay.
I give up an
Can't-
attitude point.
And gain an attitude
Right.
point.
No, I don't get an attitude point if I just pull a 10.
Yeah, if you get on a 10 plus it's rad as hell, gain plus
oh yeah,
1
I do.
attitude.
Sweet. I used
Spend-
attitude, got attitude.
Gotta spend money to make money.
Excellent. Cool. Yeah, I accidentally did real good.
All right, so you absolutely are able. You know, this isn't that hard. You've done a lot of stuff that has to do with balance and a lot of different things. Running down hills, making sure you don't fall and tumble ass over tea kettle. This is basically the same thing. Just stand a little more still. Don't move your legs as much.
And colder.
Yeah, and colder. And so
But my fit is high, and so is my cool.
exactly. And so you absolutely do shred down this hill, and Desiree just goes, "Ugh."
Good.
And then
You hear distantly, suck it.
as you absolutely cut by her, and the big wall of snow goes over her, and she goes, ah! There you go. That's what you wanted. I know what you wanted.
Yeah.
And with that, you are going to gain your attitude point at the cost of an attitude point. but you are also you just look cool as hell. And honestly, at the end of the day, isn't that what's important on the slopes?
Yeah. That's what I needed.
Yeah,
I needed
exactly.
to look cool in front of the shitty people.
I tell you what, at this point, anybody else who wants to make a check to see how good they are on the slopes can do so. I know yours. Okay, immediately. Oh no, that's so perfect. Oisin, gain an attitude point and describe how you absolutely just bust ass.
So yeah, Oishin's like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I know the equation. Just got to go with it. And so you see him like he's got the poles under him, and he's like trying to like start, and he's got the French fry and the pizza, and he's like going. He starts to pick up some speed, and he's like going. He's going. He's like, oh, okay, wait, hold up. Nope, my trajectory's off. Oh, I'm accelerating too much. Oh no, pizza. Why is the pizza not slowing me down? Oh god, the grease. It must be the grease. I don't know what's going on. Oh god, how many calories is this? And just a snowbank.
Snowbank. Makes a tree rattle next to it. Your head pops out. More snow. Kenny, you get an 8, so that's
right,
that's pretty standard. Ooh, Elijah, what's your fit, man?
Probably -1. Yep, -1. Almost do okay.
Yeah.
Almost.
Is 8 mixed?
8 is a middle success. There's nothing really bad about it per se.
Yeah, I imagine Kenny's on like a intermediate difficulty one. He's just cruising back and forth. He's just like just waving. He's just hot dogging a little bit, just like, I love this time of year. Hockey soon, right? Yeah, just like zigging between people.
It's that time when field hockey's about to change into regular hockey for a short, brief period in the school, and got to get used to the cold again. Are you wearing any of your pads as you're out, or like is your helmet like your play helmet? Are you wearing a helmet to ski, actually?
I imagine he's wearing a jersey. And yeah, he's probably wearing a helmet.
That's fair.
Helmets are cool.
Safety first.
Helmets are cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
Everybody gets a helmet.
Oh yeah.
They're all color coded.
Oh,
Especially
he's absolutely wearing a helmet.
For no other reason than your stunt double definitely needs to not show their faces they're doing these tricks.
Yeah, Kenny, he's wearing his jersey, I imagine. I don't think he's wearing any of his pads because it was like it's a recreational trip. But
you don't want to pack that. God, that's so annoying to pack out.
So it's so heavy. It's so awkward to carry too.
Plus, it wouldn't fit on the bus.
I imagine at one point, like you can see Kenny riding a hill with his stick, though. He's just like loosely like like volleying an imaginary puck back and forth in front of him as he's carving. Particularly leisurely thing he's got it like across his shoulders, just like.
And as all of this is happening, and as all of you are on the slopes, you suddenly hear screams.
Is it Oishin hitting the tree?
No. You hear screams from the lodge as a tall turret-shaped monster emerges from it and immediately rushes and bowls down one of the snow sheds. And people start running away, but not as fast as they could. For the record...
Hold on.
Yeah.
Did that castle just fuck up that house?
Attitude.
Well, if that ain't disparity between classes, I don't know what it is.
Also attitude. And with that, Oishin, did you bring your reader with you?
Yes, it would be in my bag, which hopefully I would keep on me. Maybe in like a fanny pack.
I'll give you a fanny pack. Hell yeah, that's uncool
which is definitely
as hell.
not cool.
Yeah.
That's uncool as hell. Of course you have that.
It's where you keep all of your important scientific stuff. Makes sense. It's a big fanny pack. It's probably what screwed you up and had you overweighted moving.
Yeah. So it starts making some horrifying, like, scratching record noises.
And with this, what I'm going to say is this is happening as all of you are on the lift going back up. It's pretty high up into the air. And it's very... Go ahead.
How high up are we?
On a lift, I'm going to give you 2 stories.
Okay.
How fresh is the powder?
How fresh is the matter?
That's a good question. But the first thing I want is that it's still moving, but then suddenly the rook slams into the rock rook. It looks like a rock, and it is a rook, by the way, just in case anybody's wondering what the pun is this time. It's just
Rook.
rhymey words.
Okay, so
But
sorry, what's
I
he
have I have to set a little bit more theming. He runs into the generator for this thing, and as he does, the power goes out on the lift, and all of you are stuck up there, along with some other classmates. And I need to have you all figure out a way as a team, or you individually as well, Steve, what you would do with this potential keep your identity secret role.
Okay. Oh, I have a pun, but I'm going to save it for later.
Oh, okay.
Would it be good? Okay, let me. All right. So we got to restart the generator. All right. No, I'm going. Fuck it. I'm going to use it now. I got the material now. All right. Steve is just going to go complete fucking. He's gonna be like, he's gonna look up, look over his shoulder, like back at the the rock rook, and he's gonna be like, oh bugger, someone's got to keep this guy in check.
Attitude. Attitude.
Hell yeah. And
I appreciate the save for later, but that's a good one for now too.
Yeah. He's so like, it's like fuck, I've never actually been, like, I'm in Australia. I've never seen snow, so you know.
You see my background?
Yeah, Steve. I have.
There you go.
So
it's like, it's one of those chairlifts, right? With the bars over our like waists.
no, there are no bars over your waist because this is back during the early 90s.
Yeah, fuck safety.
Right.
It's the 90s.
All right. Well, Steve is
or
just
at the
gonna
very
go
least, it's a bar that is there that you can just lift.
All right.
To get
Well,
in front
Steve,
of.
either way, is going to hop out of the chair
Uh-huh.
and drop down to the snow, and he's going to ollie.
Just hold the board as you do it and spin.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and, I mean, this is your thing. This is the most extreme of sports. By the way, Steve's cool thing is that he is good at extreme sports. So.
Yep. So now he hit the generator, right?
He did.
All right. So Steve is gonna like try and snowboard down the slope towards this thing. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and get the chairlift moving with some percussive maintenance by grinding on the generator.
Are we just playing like SSS Tricky right now?
I sure am.
There's no reason not to. I set a tone for this, and I guess I have to follow through. So, go ahead and roll again. Oh, it's the same 7. Each time. So it's a 7. You have some attitude, but 7's a success.
All right.
But it's a success with a condition.
That's fine. I'm happy to take the L here.
Okay. You grind on it, and it does restart the generator. Unfortunately, it restarts it.
It falls in love with you.
Why?
Because he's grinding on it.
I'm grinding on the generator, thanks.
Bump and grind.
Oh, the generator caught feelings. Damn.
Anyway, as you grind, you manage to exactly realign it in such a way that it starts working again. Unfortunately, you're still attached when it does, and it blows you back. I need you to take 2 points of damage as you land as a body in the snow, and your board is fried.
All right. Damn, the board's gone. All right, but the chairlift is moving, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the chairlift starts moving again. All of you make it up to the top of the mountain, and with that, now you're with all of your classmates, and you're seeing this thing just start rampaging across the ski lodge and everything. Everybody's scared to go down. You're going to have to find a way to make your way down there without alerting any of your classmates.
So Oishin is going to be like, looking over at the scene, like, have you guys heard of a man named Alfred Lothar Wagner? He was a German climatologist. He actually is the guy that discovered continental drift. It's kind of amazing. He was actually one of the first polar researchers
While
to
Ocean is talking and
ever.
boring everybody, Kenny walks into the woods.
And so as Oshin keeps talking about polar research and ice caps and everything, everyone just sort of starts to tune him out and like walk away from him. And then he
Okay.
makes his way backwards, like just keeping like slow, like because like his voice gets kind of quieter.
Roll me. So let's see. This is going to be for this roll. You're trying to. I'm gonna give you sharp for it because that's obviously a sharp check, but it's going to be the move is still keep your powers secret. So you're having sharp for it, but I need you to roll, and you're going to have to pick one depending on what you have happen here with this roll.
Okay. That's an 11 plus 2. Or
No,
plus
you
1.
won't.
So 12. Oh, actually, the first one was a 9, so it's a 10, I guess.
Still,
I don't know
you're
why double
10
rolls.
plus, your secret is safe.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pick one of the conditions, so you're absolutely fine. And you talk everybody away so that they're all bored, and it's just the 4 of you standing at the top of the mountain now.
Good job.
Was all of that true?
Oh, yeah. Dr. Wagoner was a
attitude for
gynecologist.
being a dork, by the way.
Yeah.
It's on your sheet. It's what you do. You
I
say
am a
nerdy
huge
thing, you get
nerd.
attitude.
Elijah reaches over and like touches his fingertip to Oshin's lips, like, shh. No time for nerd, time for ass whooping right now.
I assume you meant Kenny, not
Yeah.
Elijah.
Sorry.
I was like, "Are you holding my hand?" That was
Yes,
Just
yes.
grabs
Yes,
Elijah's hand,
yeah.
puts
you're
it
the
on Ocean's
closest
lip.
person.
Shh.
That's
Good
what
times.
happened.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, and
Ocean blushes just a little bit.
he's like, I don't know how I feel about this.
It's fan fiction time.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
like, we need to go.
All right, and
Yes, transform, hide your blush.
with that, you would notice, by the way, Oshin, that your detector is not really going off for this. Yeah, it's weird.
He hits it a couple of times, a la Quantum Leap. Just
Are you holding a cigar at the same time?
if I could.
Yeah.
Can't do that on this
Old
kids
enough
show.
to smoke.
No.
Although I have said fuck like 5 times. So.
Yeah, I
well.
know. Y'all are bad kids. I don't know.
Yeah, with
how to-
attitude.
I'm supposed to be.
Mhm.
How about this?
Genes with
Somehow I have a I don't have a cigar. I have a sucker
Yeah.
that I've been
Yeah.
holding.
Yep. So with that, what are we all doing now?
Spend an attitude and transforming.
Okay. Does
Yep,
everybody
yep.
have the attitude to spend to transform?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And with that, all of you have the transformation sequence. Is there anything more festively Christmassy about your transformations?
For mine, like the train and everything, it's like now the Polar Express. Like it just has like some like Photoshop snow on the front of it, and there's a ribbon on the front of the train.
Then it gets eaten by the snake? Okay.
Well, it's because it looks like the normal opening, except there's definitely like some photoshopped Christmassy
Sure.
stuff that's been put on top of it.
Absolutely.
When the
My
lizard
cape has a fluffy end on it.
Aw, it's got the little...
And yeah, and instead of the normal like fox jumping around in the desert, it's snow.
Gotcha.
See, when the lizard impacts into the ground, it just like kicks up a big snowdrift, and
Nice.
the tail that's usually just like part of the shoulder like wraps around like a scarf now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and the scorpion bobsleds through the tunnels. And flips out. Just tucks in all the
y'all are
legs.
just transforming, but I'll hold
Yeah.
these in the chamber for later. God bless.
Well, no, he okay. Then he will bobsled out of a tunnel. There you go.
Festive attitude all around.
Well,
Merry Christmas. Anybody
Robo.
who is in the spirit of Christmas can get attitude for it this session.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been eating candy canes this whole time.
I know. I've been very upset that I don't have one. Actually, I do have one, but I have to talk a lot, so I can't.
Mm.
No attitude for that because it makes me angry.
That's fine.
And
If
with
only you were here.
I had hot cocoa as the game was starting. Do I get an attitude for that? No.
Sure, Aaron, you can have attitude.
No,
for hot
I don't
cocoa.
want attitude for that.
You don't want attitude for hot cocoa? I'm giving it to you
No.
anyway. You have to have attitude for hot cocoa now. Do you feel good?
No, I refuse to use it.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So all of you are at the top of the slope, transformed. What are you gonna do?
Kenny grabs his snowboard and fucking it turns gold. He just chops on it and fucking bullets it down the slope.
Kenny's booking down the slope. All right.
Ocean's gonna look for anything he knew as like a sled rather than skis. She's gonna like sled down like a
You
12-year-old.
managed to find
Yeah.
a red red flyer.
It's gotta
Is
be
that-
blue.
Yeah.
Blue flyer. That's what it is.
Mhm.
A radio flyer was a wagon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so you find a blue flyer and you lay on your belly and go wee down the mountain.
Yep. So I can
Oh,
I
no.
can I can see that one enough.
Could it be one of those terrible saucers so he's just like spinning as he's going down the hill?
Those
That
are
you
all
like
blue.
absolutely cannot control. Yeah.
Beautiful. Anybody else have
He's
something?
gonna be like,
Okay.
I mean, it worked before, and try skiing again.
Ah, okay. Good. And so you just click right back into your skis magically because,
Mhm.
ranger science and go down.
Even though the boots are like, nah, we were probably wearing ski boots and no boots. They're probably about the
Mhm.
same
Yeah,
size as
no.
like the bulky ranger boots.
Yeah, sure, why not? 1 for 1. Even.
Yeah, totally works.
Oh, hold on. Actually,
Mhm.
before doing that, she's gonna check the options on the glasses to see if there's a ski option.
Exactly what I was gonna
Give
do.
me a okay, so give me a sharp.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
You got this.
Can't see anything with my glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nope. And I'm not gonna spend points on it.
There you go. All right, so you're just like, no, okay, and you go down normal skiing, but because all of you are currently in ranger mode, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Was was Elijah gonna look for the same thing? Find a snowboard or something?
Or at least the only other idea he had was to steal some skis and then use his staff, pull it in half and then have the poles.
Hmm.
So if we can get down easily, then he'll just grab some skis and hop on and use the pole as the poles.
Gotcha. So you break your
Mhm,
pole in
yeah.
half and do. Okay, so you're doing that and making it down to the bottom.
Mhm.
All of you engage this monster. It has a snow crenellated turret. It has a little Santa sash around its neck, and it is massive and getting bigger as it is smashing around into things. And it seems to be moving vertically very fast. Not vertically. Linearly very fast. Sorry, vertical doesn't make sense.
It's got straight line speed.
It's got straight line speed. That's right. Got to learn how to crisscross it or whatever. So with that in mind, all of you are engaged in combat. Whoever wants to go ahead, and I will bring you in a moment, sir.
I was just going to ask if he's presently there, or if like he got like knocked down and is currently not in the scene.
You're out of the scene for right now.
Perfect.
Okay. And with that, all of you are going ahead and trying to fight this thing. So let's get some combat going as a bunch of snowball men pop up. No, they're pawns. A bunch of pawns pop up out of nowhere and start assaulting you.
Well, the head of a pawn is a ball shape. There
Yeah,
you go.
they can be snowmen. Snowmen
Yeah.
pawns. It's
There
themed.
you go.
Yeah, snowball for a head and like the flared body.
Exactly.
Why do bad guys know about festiveness?
Hey, 'tis the season.
Hey, this obvious.
How do they know that?
Maybe
'Cause
it's
whoever-
from the energies of the people that they prey on.
Okay, that makes sense. I'll accept that.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you accept that?
Thank God you didn't roll a 411.
I'm
Maybe they have.
not gonna roll it
basic-
all the time.
Listen,
Thank you.
maybe they have basic cable.
It is the season to watch Christmas movies. We pan to. By the way, the character's name, the bad guy. You get to see a brief glimpse of him. He has a bunch of wooden slats around him, like samurai armor, and wood slats down the back. They have particular symbols on it. He is known as the Chess Master, but that's only because this is the American version. He is absolutely a shogi character.
Mhm.
Nice.
Mhm.
I like
The
it.
Shogi Shogun is what his actual name is in the Japanese version.
Good. Excellent. I feel like we have a pop-up video version of this playing the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I really do want to get more like at some point when we like take breaks and stuff, just to be like having the stupid little here's the pop-up video mix of in this episode actually from the original version. Just because it's stupid and I like thinking of these things. All right. So with that, all of you are fighting a bunch of snowman pawns and a very festive rook monster. What are you
And-
doing?
Well, so seeing that they're snowman themed, Elijah's gonna try and know that they.
Elijah's?
Oh, sorry.
Everybody
He
is
does
here today.
everything. I am
Oishin
everyone.
is gonna see that they're pawns and be like, okay, and knows the way their attack pattern is, so he's always gonna try and go at them like head on, which is the opposite of most good combat skills. So he's always gonna go straight on.
Yeah. Okay. Are you rolling to fight?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was gonna use the tactical genius to exploit the enemy's weakness, so I get to roll plus sharp.
I appreciate it. Go ahead.
That's a 12.
Ooh. And with a 12, you see Oshin just start absolutely railing through and just hitting these guys dead center. And as he does, they pop into little pieces and land on the ground.
Huh, that's weird. They turn back. He picks up one, turns back into a chess piece, like throws it at someone.
And all of them are just like, "Whoa!" And they all charge at you. With the 12, you have your choice of two options. I assume
So-
damage, not hit, or would you like to do something else?
Damage and stop the counterattack.
Okay, done. All right, next attacker in row. Sorry,
Well,
in a row, not
right.
row. Sorry.
Yeah, Kenny will go. Kenny will also attack head on, but not because he knows chess or any kind of strategy. But that's just how Kenny do. Kenny is literally like on his snowboard still, just like gaining momentum, and he comes to the first pawn and like jumps and like does a melon, which is like when you like grab your board behind you by the toe, and he'll like spin so the flat of the board just like hits the boulder in the face.
Gotcha.
And then disappear.
And with a +2, that's another 12.
Yeah, that's a 12. Yep.
So you absolutely do a sick kickflip and melon, and you smack the Pawnee across the face, and it pops into a tiny little chess piece and poof, into the snow.
Season's beatings are upon you.
All right, go ahead and take your attitude.
All right. Addie's gonna say, this is snow time for games.
Attitude.
Yes. And let's see, I'm gonna roll for something.
Kick some butt.
No, I'm gonna just roll to see if she's noticed that is working. And that's high, so she has noticed that just running directly in and hitting them real hard is working. So that's what she's gonna do too. Pick an opponent, run up the middle. Actually, she's gonna whip out her swords. So bye-bye attitude that I just got.
There you go.
And just do kind of like a 1-2 from underneath slashy
Okay.
deal. That is a 6, and I'm not gonna take that. I'm gonna do a.
What's
one
your
more blank.
bonus from being transformed?
Oh, you're right.
+1.
Everything goes up by 1.
So that's an
That's
8.
2. Yeah. So I'm good.
So that's pick one: damage, counter, move, or take something away.
I'm gonna do damage.
Okay. Well, then you absolutely shred this Pawnee, and he goes away.
Ha! Cool.
And as you do, let's see, that leaves Elijah.
Mm-hmm. And you know what he's going to do? He's going to try to use the glasses to get the 4-on-1 on this rook monster. Why is it growing? How do we stop it?
Good question.
+2. So a 10.
So a 10. With a 10, you are allowed to ask a straightforward question. I give you a straightforward answer. You're asking, why is he growing? It seems that there is some form of snow theming to this monster, and you notice as he moves in straight lines, the snow over top of it is gone. He's snowballing.
Right. Okay. Well, the whole area is covered in snow. But what we can do is not give him a good target.
Right.
Right? Yeah, so we can stay out of straight line with him, or at least kite him around.
And with that, I'm going to have two things happen. Since it's the end of the round, each of you is going to get a swing for 1 against you. It's going to be at random, so I'm going to say, well, Kenny and Oshin. As they do line up diagonal to you and then try to shoulder check into you.
Okay.
And take 1 damage each, well, no one said they were defending, so that's happening. And then this monster goes, "Happy in this Christmas time, thank you for forming a line," and you see him like turn into light almost as he flies around a little bit with a special effect, and then there's a line of light that travels down all 4 of you. And I need one of you to attempt to defend against this attack.
Kenny will.
Okay. All right, Kenny, roll defense.
Actually,
what's up?
Were you gonna say something?
I was gonna say I would like to help him with that action.
You can, because you get a free help.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if I rush in recklessly to kick some butt or defend someone, I take an extra point of damage, but I do an extra point of damage. Would he take damage from that or not, because it's his attack?
It's his attack, so not at this point.
Okay.
Good to know for later, though.
But yeah, Kenny will kick
Go ahead.
kick out of the bindings and kind of like flip his snowboard up and use it as like a shield.
Yep.
Like, you may not be made of coal, but you're sure getting it this year, and like put his shoulder into the attack, like into the block.
Okay.
Really? How would that even work?
Using a snowboard as a shield.
No, not yours. If it's also to defend someone.
So when you
is that only in the case of someone else attacking then and having to defend?
Which one are we looking at here?
Reckless. Because it includes defending someone. So how would I ever do extra damage unless it would count while just defending someone?
Rush in recklessly seems like it's a tag, but I haven't seen that tag before. That's a good question, and I would love to know the answer to it.
It's a rebel move.
Yeah, I know. I see that, but I don't see a rush in recklessly as a thing per se. So I guess that's just stating that you do that. I guess what I would do, since it doesn't seem to work with the way that we do the systems normally, is that you would just deal a point of damage to back.
Okay.
Or it would add 1 to your next damage you dealt.
That works too.
Yeah.
But you've already started your thing, so do it.
Yeah. Aaron, you have to roll defend.
You get to roll twice.
As he disappears in a blur too. Yep. Roll 1 more time and take the better of them with your fit. Which is going to be the 10, obviously.
10.
And with that, you see the line charging, but then Kenny is immediately out front with his golden shield that he has today, blocking, and you see him like get slowly. You see the feet like comically scuffling in the snow as you're being pushed back further and further, but you manage to block him from hitting anybody else. With that, since you rolled to defend, I think at a 10 plus you don't take any damage either.
I think that's correct.
You can choose it, right?
Yeah, successfully defend them and nobody gets hurt. So there you go. All right.
Fancy
So,
pants.
well, it's going to be 2 damage for everybody, but good job, Kenny. And with that, Steve-O, buddy, you come too. You're a little bit charred. You hear the scuffle of battle going on.
All right. I'd like to morph.
All right. Would you like to describe what your henshin looks like?
All right. So, Steve, as I mentioned earlier, he's wearing that bulky digital watch. He reaches to open the face of the watch, like just straight up flips it open, and there's like a crenellation, like a hollow line within, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then like he flips his wrist, and like seemingly out of nowhere, he has like a long, like metallic strip,
A bright green metallic strip.
a bright green metallic strip, and he whips it down on his wrist, and it locks around the whole thing, and he closes the face of the watch and yells, "Slap force, green!"
And as he does that, you see this slap bracelet that has been interlocked into his watch spiral in a counterclockwise direction because Australia.
Because
I
Australia.
thought you said slut force.
No.
No.
Slap.
Slap force.
I know
No,
you
that's
did
when we-
because that's what we talked about earlier. But
That's at least a college show.
That's when the show goes in a very different
Thank you for
direction.
backing me up. I knew we had the same thought.
That's Radical Robo Rock Rangers college years.
Yeah, there you go.
Oof.
I'm just happy it's slap bracelets.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We did a lot of
Mhm.
design implementation. Hey baby, well, thank you for dinner. We did a lot of back and forth on the design, and we decided that calculator watches / slap bracelets are a good combination, and also sellable to kids as merchandise. So
Mhm.
it's just a win-win all around. And so
The
with
whole-
that, everything turns digital with the lines, and you see it like splice out from the middle. A bar comes up, and as it does, you are in your ranger costume. Does it have a particular look to it?
Well, it's green, shockingly.
Crazy.
Because he's Australian, it will have gold accents. It looks like similar-ish to like their ranger outfits, but different. Like got a different theme, and like different visor shape, things like that. He's got like big kind of like pauldrons and like a chest plate. But like the whole thing, it's like like skin tight, like
Oh yeah.
Sensei suit.
Mhm.
Does it have any animal theme to it at all, or no? Because ours
Um,
are all sort of an animal theme.
Their
and with
animal
yours-
themings are on their helms, so I don't know where your animal theming would be.
I'm gonna say the animal theming is on the breastplate, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it's got the head of the eagle, like pointing down as like the triangular shaped chest plate with the wings coming up around his shoulders as the pauldrons.
Nice.
Ooh, very cool.
And so as he transforms, he says, "Slap force green," and he strikes a pose, and you see an eagle fly out from behind him and caw into the sky.
And there's an explosion,
Yeah, and it explodes.
a colored explosion.
Yeah, a green-colored explosion.
Nice.
All right, and with that, let's have the Rook monster keeps getting bigger and bigger as it is fighting all of you, even though you all are holding it off successfully so far. But let's have a break-in from our new member into the fight.
All right.
As
I would
we
like.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'd like to kick some butt.
Oh, absolutely.
Just come flying out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just,
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, so yeah, kick some butt. 2d6 plus your fit.
And that's a 9, and I will spend an attitude on that to bring it up to a 10.
Okay. Don't forget to spend
And,
the attitude for your henshin, by the way.
Yes. So it's I've spent 2 attitude, 1 to transform and 1 to do better with my roll.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
Brings me back down to 2 attitude.
And on a 10, you get to choose 2 options on your kick some butt. You can deal damage, which is morphed 1d3. Oh, I forgot to let you guys roll for your damage, but you were killing pawns, so. Force target where you want them, take something from your target, or dodge and avoid your target's counterattack. Please describe your attack.
All right, so it's like you guys are fighting this thing. Kenny blocks like the attack just barely, and like, and then we like cut like to Steve transforming, and then it's like we cut back to like the camera on the ground panning up. He trampoline jumps over it with a flip. Then it cuts again, and he's still in the air, but this time instead of flipping, he's like doing like a like both foot drop kick across the camera. Then it like does the rapid zoom in right on the monster, and like the close up of the feet hitting him. I'm gonna do the damage to him.
There are sparks for no reason.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There are sparks for no reason.
The camera work is manipulated so flawlessly that you wouldn't know that it was actually the Purple Ranger who did this kick in the episode. However, since she was not available for this particular filming, they went ahead and did a crossover with one of the other shows.
Yeah. All right, and so here's my question: if I deal damage, actually, no. I'm going to dodge and avoid the counterattack, but instead of dealing damage, can I use the force the target where I want them thing to stop him from moving?
Ooh, I will let you stop him from moving temporarily.
No, temporarily. It's not like permanent. Like he's running forward, and then Steve just comes out of nowhere, just bam, double foot kick right in the chest, and it stops him dead in his tracks for now. And he does the back, lands and like points at this guy in his ranger outfit, and is like, rookie mistake.
All right, take your attitude point. Hey,
so
Rangers, there's some other guy here. So if there's a time
thanks,
you want
Al.
to react to. Rangers, I'm detecting an energy signature I don't quite understand.
Yeah, we can see him.
It's spinning backwards from what I'm used to. Fuck.
Wait, what? I was just like, wait, what? Is that true?
You said it is true. It has to be true now.
No, did Al actually say that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Elijah doesn't say anything other than, is that true? And he kind of looks through his glasses at it as well. If Al could bring that up.
Wait, I'm on a camera.
Huh?
I went like this with my hand. Then I remembered I think it flips on camera, so this way instead.
Okay. Cool, that's fine. Huh. Well, I don't think he means us any harm. That's all
How
Elijah
do you
said.
know?
When he kicked the monster instead of me, right?
I mean,
While
yeah, that's...
while you guys are having this conversation, he's like in the background, he's doing karate moves with the
Yeah.
like they're doing them near each other, not actually hitting.
Yeah, you're off line of each other.
You're doing your all the different pawnies are coming at you, and you're like dodging around and moving back and missing.
Yeah, camera's just in front. They're just offline of each other punching. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Elijah, if Addy asks that, I don't know. He's fighting that guy, and it doesn't seem to be the same energy as the bad guys. So at least he's neutral.
Like
the Swiss.
Like I said, if he was bad, he would have punched me in the back while I was blocking. That's a bad guy move. This seems like a side grade, like a good guy, the enemy of my enemy, maybe. I don't know.
So we know, my device didn't go off for this monster. So maybe this monster isn't after us and it's after him?
I feel like it's after everything. It just kind of points out the crushed buildings and stuff.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Can you do a scan of it?
Yeah, sure. Let me and he just like reaches behind him and pulls out the device, extra dimensional bag space.
Sure.
Hammer
would that
space.
be
Sharp.
just do a 411?
Well, I mean, it's but
Or
use
use
technology.
Yeah,
So,
it'll be your sharp.
but I think for you it's sharp anyway, because you made this, so it's real sharp.
So that's a 9.
On a 9, it doesn't work quite right. Pick one. Oh yeah, it does something unexpected. I pick that every time. So it reads.
What?
But it doesn't read spirals. So instead, it starts spinning so that there's no spiral showing up on the monitor for it. Giving you a better view of the energy, but kind of not because, again, the device is spinning in midair.
Just kind of like holding it as it, or not even really holding it, just watching it like hover above my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in magic yet? Because I hope you do.
No.
Take your fucking attitude point.
I mean, while they're trying to figure this out, Kenny will run back into the fight to help him.
Mm.
And as like a Pawnee is about to hit him in the back, he'll be like, "Mind if I castle?" And he'll roll over Green's back and kick the pawn that was going to hit him.
Nice.
Oh yeah, and he Green Axe
Also-
absolutely goes with it.
Yep.
Castle.
Is a chess term, yeah.
Yeah.
And in fact, Steve retorts, "Make your move, King."
Both of you get attitude. How dare you?
Hell yeah.
With the spiral from the tech gear, does that actually teach us anything? Do we get any information from it, or is it all just sort of like it's acting so weird that there's not really a whole lot that it can tell me?
He's chewing.
I'm thinking too.
Slow, ponderous jaw.
Mm-hmm.
I think for the use tech action, does 7 to 9 not succeed? That's weird. Surely it succeeds a little. You notice that this this energy signature is not like any of the other enemies that you've fought yet, but you're not sure why.
Oh, okay, I see.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well,
At this point, any buddy cop banter that y'all want to do, a la what Cassis and Ro just did, feel free at any point, because this is a crossover event, which means the more you all converse with each other, the funner it is. All right, so Kenny, you rolled, and I think you haven't rolled yet, have you, to kick some butt?
No, just said the thing, right? Yeah.
14. Kenny hits the pawn so hard it rockets back into another pawn and blows them both up.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yep.
All right.
Do we have criticals in this game?
he's the Gold Ranger, isn't he?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Gold, not yellow.
That's fine. No, this is perfect.
No, just the sad head shake from James because this was an argument during the session 0.
I was like, all right, pick your colors. And they were like, I want to be a metal. And I was like, motherfucker. Metals aren't actual colors. He's like, I could be gold. I was like, fine.
Well, yeah, that's what it was. You're like, you could be gold. I was like, or you could be yellow. I'm like, I want to be gold. And then everyone else was like, oh, all these gems have colors. I'm like, yeah, all these gems are colors.
It was an accident.
Bunch of
I want
unruly
to hear how you hit these pawnies.
Yeah. Well, he described it. He did the back roll over you to kick into them.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. Now, in that case, once he's done that, like Steve's gonna with the exaggerated head movements because he's in the suit, he's gonna be like, "You might not be green, but you're good as gold."
Take your fucking attitude point. Remember that you can only have 5.
I know.
Okay.
Hey, listen, I don't care about the attitude. I'm at a fucking Rangers game. I am gonna be fucking coming at you with the one-liners.
Absolutely.
If you keep jumping in all heroic like I might be green with envy.
Take your damn attitude point again. I told you all to do this. I can't be mad. Okay, whose turn next?
Yeah, don't get red in the face.
We stay out here too long, we're all gonna turn blue from hypothermia.
Charles, did you want to hit on this? You good?
No.
Okay.
No. I'll wait.
Charles gets an attitude
when you least
point.
expect it.
Damn.
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Everybody else, go ahead, take your
Yeah.
attitude points for your goofy color pun.
Look, I'm the outcast. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
You're more high quality than we are. Platinum, in fact.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not giving in.
Okay. Whose turn?
Yeah. I think it's just myself and Addie, right?
Correct mundo.
All right.
Yep.
Well, Elijah will yell out, what he found. If it moves more, it's going to get bigger because it's going to get snow. We got to stay in its face. And with that, he is going to try and kick some butt. He is going to do a pole vaulting jump kick directly into this snow rook.
Is this you using your weapon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you spent your attitude for your weapon.
Yeah, I did that when I first did it, when I got the skis.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, I'm down to 1. Let me kick some butt. It will be with weird.
Oof.
Oh, well, that's great. That's cool. So that's a total of 5, which is gonna miss.
You are going to activate a special ability that I gave to Ro for this session. Ro, you had an interaction with Elijah earlier. You can perform a fly-in save because you are the 6th ranger.
Absolutely. What do I need to roll for this?
Go ahead and roll a cool.
Cool. And that's 8 total. I've got 5 attitudes. I'm actually going to burn some. I'm going to bring that up to a 10 by spending 2. Can I do that?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
What you do is you fly in save, and that makes Elijah succeed.
All right. Well, I was doing a pole vaulting kick.
So one of the Pawnees went to go and hit your pole to knock it out from under you, and as they went to do it, you see a green arm grab its arm, bring it around, do a few different wushu moves, and then punch it, and it pops as you continue your pole vault and succeed. So describe your attack.
Sure. Okay. Well, as I fly over the pawn that's now out of the way, he'll just say, thanks for that. Do you still have what I gave you? He'll just say that as he's going by. Just to give you a...
How do you know it's him?
Yeah, Steve's head bobs back a little bit and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Mate.
Yeah.
It's so confusing. How would anybody be able to detect that this Australian man is...
It's like in his ranger suit, his voice is less nasally, and he's projecting more it's less like,
it's Batman.
Oh yeah, mate. It's more like, come on guys, we got to stop this monster kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
go ahead and roll me a 411 if you would, Charles.
Sure.
I mean that'll
I
get
assume
it.
I assume that you got the tip off from the different energy.
Right, the spin.
Yeah. I just wanted to
because he's the only one. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know the spin, you know that. So yeah, you put 2 and 2 together. So you do know it's him. You say that line, and yeah, that's a little weird, Steve. He just immediately clocks you.
Well, he'll just say, then you are Swiss.
I mean,
and keep fighting.
Steve has -2 sharp, so he's not very good at keeping his secret, I guess.
That's fair.
Well, I mean, I don't know that it's true or not. Just from the spin. Well,
yeah.
So my kick butt happened.
Yes, it worked.
Okay. So then as I land, I'll do the damage, which is a D6, right? Yep. Well, damn.
Nice.
You're all right.
Okay. Well, then pole vault over, say the thing, and then actually do a bicycle kick. You can still see the wires, especially because it's an all white background and they didn't paint the wires or anything. But yeah, a quick bicycle kick to knock it back.
Is this against the rook?
Yeah, against the rook.
Yeah. So you go ahead and do that. After his motion is stopped, he is in fact flung back and off the snow. He's now down at the little front of the lodge place, where everything's kind of cleared out for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You have essentially neutralized him dealt him a lot of damage and also neutralized his ability to pick up speed. To pick up speed this round.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Cool.
I'll take my turn.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
And Addie's gonna say, so what you're saying is we need to lay siege to this asshole. Yeah. I'm already full on attitude. I just had to say it.
I'm glad y'all have fun.
All right. So she's gonna follow the rook over to the cleared space and try and keep it there. Maybe do an attack, but also try and keep it there. 6.
+2.
+2. That's right. 8. Which means I get. You know what? How many? If 2 more, I'm gonna just use two attitude points.
Mhm.
Bye bye. So that's a 10. So my 2 things is attack and try and keep it there.
Okay. At which point you do keep it there and you deal some damage to it. So go ahead and roll damage.
That's just 1, correct?
That's going to be 1d3 because you're transformed right now.
Okay.
Why is D3 not there?
It's not. It's just /R space 1d3.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
2.
You deal 2 damage to it, and then it rears back, and at this point, it's going to counterattack you for 2 normally, but did you want this to be reckless for you?
Nah.
Okay. Hits you for 2 damage.
Okay.
And with that, it's kind of trapped and unable to do its movement thing. But instead, on this turn, it's actually going to activate castling, and it's going to switch places with Kenny. And when it does that, it becomes...
So my keeping it in place doesn't work.
It doesn't get to move or get any... Oh, wait.
Bigger?
Is that what you wanted? You wanted to just lock it in place? Then I can't use that move. Hold on. I thought you just wanted to keep it from using its ability to build up power by moving. So it wasn't doing that. But I can go ahead and... Oh, well, I guess it's going to make this attack on you then. It's going to try to capture peace. So at this point, I'm going to need you to make a fit roll.
Okay. Sorry.
That was a 6 to start. So fit +2 for you?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I couldn't tell when it came up. So 6. So 8. 8 again.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I don't want to fail this.
That might be true.
Yeah, so bye-bye to attitude. Boop, boop.
Okay. Instead of getting a condition, you are unaffected as it goes to try to grab you and shove you into the top of the turret. And you latch your feet onto either side. Boom! Because it's big enough now that it could just do that and throw you into the castle piece. And then you kip back off and do a backflip and land.
Okay. We don't have time for your games.
Attitude.
Okay.
Wait, no, sorry. That's not an attitude for you right now. What that is instead is smartass.
Okay. All right.
Because you made a talk back to the enemy after
Sure,
it
why
missed.
not? I'll take that. That's it, you.
And you heal 2 points.
Yeah.
This turn it can't move. It tried to use that move instead. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the top of the round for all of you. Anybody who want to go for... Well, here, let's see. Damage-wise... At this point, it's looking rough. So go ahead and start the round. There are 4 Pawneys left.
Well, seeing that it, so
Wait, 3.
the
Sorry. There's 8 total because 8 on a chessboard.
so the castle piece and Addie are sort of by themselves over in the parking lot area in the front area.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay. Well, since they're over there already, we're sort of a group here. Oishin's gonna sort of run down towards the parking area.
Okay.
I'll spend attitude to draw out my scythe, and as I do, I'll come like jumping over like a car or something, and it's like and he just like as he comes like swinging the scythe, he's like, it's time to go all Fisher. I forgot, was it Bobby Fischer?
Bobby Fischer.
Yeah, time to go Bobby Fischer on your ass.
I take an attitude point, but I don't like it.
And yeah.
I'm just gonna add on to that. Here's my support. Where's yours? Look like you need a flying buttress, and I'm gonna do a kick butt also.
Okay.
And it rolled it twice, but it originally was
the first one was a 12, so you absolutely deal big damage to him. I'll just grab that second D6 or that D6 following it as your D6 hit with the scythe, and then go ahead and make an attack as well, Addy. We'll make this like a combo attack, and then we'll let you two describe it out what you do as a team up.
Oh, that's bad.
That's okay because it was a teamwork. So if Oshin spends an attitude, then you get a 12 as well.
And I will.
There you go. So with that, both of you do a furious combo toward this enemy. Addy, I don't even think your weapons are out yet, are they? Or did you pull them out? You did pull them out.
Before
that's right.
everybody, yeah.
Yeah. So with that in mind, it's one of those moves where as one of you gets blocked, the other hits, and as one of you gets blocked, the other hits, and then finally it's just both of you crossing behind, and it's like the pan into the camera where I'm gonna take my hand off push to talk for a second, but you go. And as you both do that, there's just the both of you like down to one knee with your weapons to the side, and explosions erupt from the rook.
Point set match.
Your castle's cooked.
Different game, but same idea.
And you can go ahead and both, I guess, take attitude. Your castle's cooked.
Cooked? I don't know. Rook cooked.
Is it still like fighting or?
It's. I mean, that's a lot of damage. Honestly, it's probably gonna phase transition at this point. So it's sitting there, swaying. But you know what? Since this is the crossover episode, was there one more just smack that you wanted to describe sending to it, Steve-O?
All right, so so yeah, he'll step up and he'll be like, you might make. Oh my god, give me a second.
I heard it.
Oh, my throat. Yeah, he steps up and he points at it and is like, you might not be the knight, but you'll take the L. And
I like that one-liner. Take an attitude point. That is a deep chest joke.
It is. It is. It's good.
And I'm going to spend an attitude to summon my weapon too.
There you go.
And
go ahead and describe the summon.
He coils his hand back, and then from his fist as he snaps forward, like a long cord strikes out, and he whips at the thing, and he goes in an X pattern, hitting it right where the other two rangers just hit it.
Mm-hmm. And a bullwhip erupts out and smack, smack. And it draws an X across the bad guy as he explodes even further. And as he's got all the explosions going around, both of you crossing across him and showing a red and blue X across him. And then you crack, and it's a green that goes in a plus sign across him as well. They all spiral together, and the enemy explodes, landing. And as he does, you see him slowly shrinking little by little. But off in the distance, we see a shady figure over a crystal ball say, No, the game's not up yet. We're going to make this even more interesting. And he touches the crystal ball, and as he does, you see this thing just get lit up like it got hit by a live conduit. And it's growing more and more until it has the vapor smoke machines as it grows into a giant rook monster.
All right, and I have another one-liner.
Okay.
As it grows, Steve kind of does the whoosh thing, reacting physically.
Sure.
It's looks like we're between a rook and a hard place.
Take your attitude point.
I'm gonna say I'm glad I was starting to get bored.
I guess this game's best of 3.
Attitude. All right, and with that, we're in giant monster phase.
So we
have our
spend an attitude.
Spend an attitude and have your very festive summons.
Mhm.
A little bit of steel drum plays for yours, Charles. I'm sorry, I
Thank
don't
you.
make the rules.
Thank you. That's fine. I was working towards. I can't make it work, but I was trying to make Swiss work. I can't get to that quote. It's fine. I'll give up.
It's because you're not a Swiss Miss.
Yeah, it's true.
Would you say the Swiss missed?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, then no attitude from me, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
I laugh, James.
Thank you. With this, we're going to go ahead and transition into our summons. So, if anybody wants to describe, I've got these, I think, though. A snow-covered tundra instead appears, and we see a little mouse sitting there with a little Santa hat on. And then, as we do, we see a Christmas red and white striped scarfed fox robot jump out, bite into it, and snap it into its jaws. And then we pan over to a tunnel, and we see the Polar Express coming through the tunnel, and then suddenly it stops and has to back up as a giant metal snake comes out of the tunnel with it snapping and eating the camera at the end. We see coming from the sky, but a bit overcast now, still the sun though, we see a Gila monster fall out from the sky and land into the snow, puffing it up, and there's a Christmas tree in the background. And then, of course, we see, with the slightest bit of steel drums in the background, coming out of the cave, the flying, soaring through the air, and kind of having a little bit of an E.T. moment, the scorpion riding a bobsled, landing and going through. And then we also have...
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So, it like cuts to Steve and like close-ups on his chest, and like there's like the screech of an eagle is like, the chest plate doesn't like move off him, but like, it glows, and like 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 a spectral being in the shape of an eagle like rises off of his chest piece. And like the storm clouds in the background as like this thing rises up, spreads its wings, and then like with like the loud cry of an eagle, right? Like, it materializes into the mechanical wedge-tailed eagle.
which is an Australian bird similar to either a bald eagle or a golden eagle. So big eagle.
Big bird.
Yeah. And with that, we go into our giant monster phase of this fight.
Mm-hmm.
Is his eagle the same size as our individuals? Or is it going to be like the size of ours combined?
I'd say, well, I'll give that to you, Ro. What do you think?
Yeah, pretty much. No, in this case, the size of them individually, I think, works.
He's part of a team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Speaking
Everything
of,
is smaller when you're part of a team.
the first thing that Elijah wants to do after he sees the eagle, he contacts Al and says, "All right, do you think we can combine with this thing?"
Al, computing.
Good, because that's what he's going to use his actions on. He's going to 411 it until we can fuse.
Okay, let's go. Is everybody good? We might finish a little early. This is a pretty quick game.
Well, I mean, it might take a while, but that's what he's going to try.
Okay.
Use, I think, no, I don't need to.
Now you're weird for that.
Yeah.
Because you're, you're getting the 411 using weird. So that's a 10, so you succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And you've also gotten the 411, which means I might be in danger.
Yeah, so when he and Al are kind of looking at this, and, we're talking about the spin and the flow of energies, right?
Charles, real quick, I forgot. You gain an attitude. I'm so sorry. Obsessive. You definitely brought up rocks to Steve.
Sure. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that because I do it all the time.
I did too.
But so what he's going to tell to Al is that if we can just force more energy through, it won't matter how it's spinning.
Running calculations now.
That's my turn.
Okay. You have established with the 411 that your team's mechs can combine with another team's mechs.
All according to plan.
All according to Kate.
Are there like other Ranger teams all over the world now? Like, what is the correlation?
Do we? Okay, so we're all individuals still, right?
Yeah.
We're not.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything other than the giant rook, or are there more of the pawns, or are there a few extra like knights or whatever around that we need to worry about? I don't know if there are still like littler
Just the
ones
big
that we
guy.
should.
No giant putties today.
Did they ever make giant putties?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think they did, because originally the individual robots would fight, but that was only like 1 or 2 episodes, and then it was as soon as they got the robots, it was big robot.
Yeah. Which might also just be a lot of American editing too. They wanted to get the transformation in every episode to sell the toy.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
And I'll
Then,
kick some butt.
What's up?
Nothing.
Kick some. Okay. So
Kick some
go ahead
butt.
and roll some kick some butt.
Damn,
I
Oshin.
got a 12.
Holy shit. Guys, you need to stop rolling so well. We need to drag this out a little.
So he is going to, with the snake, he's going to try and like bite onto him to deal damage, and then like the tail is going to whip back and like wrap around something like some trees and try and hold it in place. So it's almost like a snare at that point.
Okay, so you're holding him in place as a move it where you want it. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. So I don't. How much damage do these things deal?
Same as the weapon, I think.
D6.
So the super mecha deals a D6. So I would say for economies of scale sake that the individual mechs deal a D3.
Okay.
Just because it doesn't make any sense for them to deal the same amount of damage, there would be no reason to combine.
Okay.
So a 2.
Then, well, no, that'd be 3.
You're right. That is how that works.
2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah.
Yep. Round up. Okay.
And so 3 damage. And how much damage would I take? Because it would counterattack.
With a counterattack, it's going to also deal you 3 damage as it tries to roll and rolls over top of you as you're holding on to it, so crushing you slightly.
Okay. But it's locked in place, so it can't get any bigger, hopefully.
Yep. All right, and with that, it is moved where you want it, and we have another player turn, potentially.
Yeah, Kenny's Gila Monster will stomp forward and attempt to tail swipe it and then like body block it, like press itself up against it. So seeing what Oshin's doing, kind of like locking it down.
Yeah. Okay, so you're also just body blocking the thing as the Gila Monster. Gosh, it's so scary when you disappear, Aaron. Oh man, the skull in the background came into view.
I'm a spooky ghost, don't you know, James?
Master of camouflage just disappears into the snow.
Mm-hmm. He's Snake from Snake Eater, just with the right camo.
He's wearing the lab coat.
So it's a 9. I'll spend an attitude to make it a 10.
Okay, and with the 10, you get 2 correct or successful results.
I'll do damage and you move it in place, but keeping it locked down.
Okay, go ahead and deal D3 for me.
Bye. Welcome back.
Oh, it does say you do a D6 of damage. That's so goofy, though. So I guess it's 5 plus 1 is 6. Well, but then so armor 1. Okay. You go ahead and roll a D6 for me, Aaron. Sorry about that. It does say your mecha do a D6 of damage. I think it's just that you automatically, when you combine, you always work together. Which
She just taking like the high roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, which okay. So you basically always hit.
Yeah. All right, so that's a total of 8 so far. Minus 2 is 6. All right. We have another turn. I'm going to... Well, I'm not going to do anything yet. Go ahead and have one other person give me a turn.
Do it, James. Do the thing. Make drama.
All right.
Addie's going to say to probably you specifically, Elijah, because he was talking about it.
Mhm.
If we're supposed to combine with that guy, how do we talk to him first?
Yeah, it's another problem. I theoretically it could work, but I don't know. He's got to be willing to do it, and I don't know how to talk to him.
Al, can you patch in to whatever communication device that dude man has?
On your, rather than you guys hearing anything, I think you all still hear this, but you will also hear this now, Steve, as you hear, "Hello, my name is Al. I am an artificial intelligence designed to help the Radical Robo Rock Rangers. How are you today?"
I'm good, Al. Surprised to hear your voice. G'day.
And a good day to you. I was wondering if you wouldn't mind being in a combination team attack with the other Rangers who are here today. They seem to be short a member.
All right. Haven't combined with anything like this before, but let's do it.
All right. Is everybody ready to try a combine?
Yeah, sure.
So, also, specifically, the way Steve will be entering his mech before they combine is the eagle flies low overhead, and he lashes out with his whip and lassos it basically. And as he lassos it, he like turns into energy. That energy runs up the cord of the whip, and he teleports into the cockpit of his mech.
That's really cool.
With the green lightning energy that we all love so much from. And you just think, spiral and ley lines.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and
looks like teleport to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so with that, we're going to have a very special transformation sequence where the eagle actually goes into the center frame of the thing. Its head pops down to form an eagle's masked crest on the center of the thing. The wings are going to fold out into receptive parts. The wings are coming out the back, and like receiver blocks chalk out from left and right on the arms, and then the claws form into like a torso grab. We're going to have the Gila monster connect up as the bottom part. We're going to have it lock into place. Or actually, no, I want it to be different this time. It's going to be the fox that connects up to make the bottom part, splits into 2 legs, and it has a fox face emblem as a belt. There is going to be a snake. The snake is going to connect down the back and form like the actual head part over top of the little robot head that the eagle has, and become like a hooded mask, and then flow down into a tail that breaks off into something else, probably a weapon. We're going to have the scorpion be a carapace around the outside, while the Gila monster splits into 2 and forms into 2 arms. And then we are going to have the wings just sprout out the back with the with the side Gila monster arms going roar roar like Go Lion, and then you see the eagle go caw, and as it spins, the fox belt piece also makes a fox sound, whatever that is, and then thank you.
Exactly.
Attitude. Even though I basically softballed that in. And then finally back up to the face where it goes, Shah! And there's like clicking noises because, scorpions.
And then the whole robot strikes a karate pose, and like a 5-colored explosion goes off behind it.
Absolutely. Every time.
Yeah. After it all settled. Go ahead.
I'm just going to say, even better, strikes a kabuki pose, because this is kind of a one-off thing. It's a little weird. You got the leg up, yo.
Elijah will just, once we settle, go, Al, we're not dying, are we? We're good.
Everything seems to be stable. This energy seems compatible with our own.
I knew that.
You made
Sure.
that.
Did you?
I had a theory. Oishin, we should definitely talk about this. I'm gonna need some help. But after this.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right. As you all take your turn to form into the giant mecha, the rook is going to go ahead and aim downward, and you see there's a hole in the top of its head. And it's going to fire a cannonball at all of you.
Cool.
Whew.
Because what is a rook if not a weird-looking cannon? You all are going to have
Awesome.
5 damage coming at the super mech.
That's why it attacks
Alright.
in straight lines.
Yeah. Would anybody like to try to defend against this?
Kenny would.
I actually, before we do that, I have a quick question about one of my abilities. What is it? I have when you distract an opponent, how does that work? Is that like an action I have to take?
Basically, it's a descriptor. So whenever you do something that it could be flavored as distracting, you can call upon that ability.
Okay.
Would you like to try to distract something real quick? Use it while you got it. You're here for an episode.
No, I'm just trying to think how I can in the giant robot mode with the whole team like combined.
When it fires at us really quick, Addie goes, shoots and ladders, incoming! You don't have to.
I'll
it's
take
fine.
the board game theming. It's all right. Take an attitude. Because shoots, I get it. Do you have something?
No,
Ron?
I've got nothing at the moment.
Okay. In that case, Kenny, go ahead and attempt to defend for me. Oh man.
No, stay here and defend.
7.
That is a success, but it's going to... You are going to incur 5 damage minus 2 to yourself. So 3 damage to you.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Kenny like throws the Gila monster arm out like a catcher, like he's a catcher.
So
it,
you
like,
just go...
Yeah, so it hits the ball, but like it like shorts out the arm for a minute, just like taking all the damage.
Mm-hmm.
Then Kenny gets like jostled around and like thrown back in his cockpit a bit, like sparks shoot out and everything.
Yeah. Did we decide unified cockpit or separate cockpits? Did we ever make that call?
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
I'm not really sure. It's been so
I'm
long.
a fan of the unified cockpit myself, but
Yeah.
I am just the guest here.
I mean, we could, and Kenny still gets like
he still just has his panel blow up. It's fine. It's something that I don't know that we might have said, but I don't think we ever adhered to.
Yeah, I don't think we adhered to it, but I like the shared one as well, and even if it's just temporary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a special one today.
Yeah.
I mean, no, shared is fine, but it's like
your
like
console part. Yeah,
it's like a Star Command bridge where it's like whoever is like the consoles are all separated but in the same area.
Yeah, you're the shields guy.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So
somehow there's like mistletoe and like holly
Festive,
lights
yes.
Strung
around.
up.
It's like who put how? Where did this come from?
One attitude for you, Philip.
What? I just
so
For decking
as
the hall.
when his console explodes,
So now it's for you, Charles.
Steve is actually going to reach across and slap him on the shoulder and he's going to be like, "Chin up, mate. You're golden. Now it's time to roast this chestnut on an open fire."
My God.
Take your attitude point. And also,
Thank you.
God, do you have anything that you just triggered with all of that nonsense?
I could possibly, I've got Slacker Sensei. When you advise a teammate trying to keep their cool on how to stay chill, give them 1 attitude, but I don't think he's trying to keep his cool.
I mean, I'd still give it to you.
Okay, well, then I can give him an attitude from the general pool.
There you go. Oh, wait, yeah, you just give him a free attitude. Why does it call it that?
Yeah.
So free attitude to you, Aaron, because that's one of the Slacker's abilities.
Good job, bro.
All right, and with that, you are now a giant mecha together, which means you only make team attacks. So what is the weapon of the day?
All right. Well, so we got
Seems
the
like it
bullwhip,
ought to be a whip.
the
Oh
bullwhip,
yeah, my tail.
the multi-section staff, the tail. What's your two swords? Castus, what's your weapon normally?
Spear.
Spear. Yeah, I'd say it's
Well,
Sword.
no, what I say. So normally, the snake, he said, like the head is on the back and kind of makes a spine, and then the rest of it. So the rest of it could be your whip. Since your weapon is the whip, you're using the snake body to be the whip.
I'm gonna tell you what. He forms the whip, the giant whip, and he like the robot like whirls it overhead, and as it does, like the whip is like dragging through the snow around it, forming a snowball around the head of the whip, like a giant snowball. And then he like
Nice.
and then he cracks it, and as the snow flies off, it's got like a giant, like flail head.
Very cool.
All right. Got it. And go ahead.
It's an evening star.
Ah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Full.
Then nothing for you.
You get nothing. Good day, sir.
I say good day. All right, go ahead and everybody make me a team attack with this giant chain mace contraption that has been formed. I'm guessing the way that this works is that the tail is combined with the scorpion tail as well to just form a long whip.
Ooh.
I got an 11 on mine.
So are we all rolling?
Yeah, it's
Plus
a team
fit
attack,
brings it to 12.
so everything you do is a team attack, and then whoever wants to win it spends one.
I will spend an attitude to bring me up to 10.
You don't have
Don't
to.
have to.
Oh, okay.
I'll
cool.
show you. You'll see how team attacks work in a second here.
All right.
So, Castus, you could roll, but there's kind of not a point.
He
I
already
already
rolled.
rolled.
Oh, is that
I
the
rolled
6?
6. Yeah.
Yeah, so Elijah, you've got an attitude to spare, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that is a
Since
perfect
he rolled the
score.
highest,
Yeah.
he spends the attitude, and we go with his score.
Yes.
Yeah. But
Do you have
what
the attitude to spin?
Yeah, I have the attitude to spin. I just got it, in fact. But what Elijah will do is he will spin up the chain whip and electrify it, and he will give it to the new guy to land the hit.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay. So you see Elijah, and everybody's working together on this. So it's a whole team effort. But Elijah especially is flying across his console, hitting certain keys and different combinations, manages to send a whole mess of power from this thing, since he understands how the energy's flowing through it, all the way straight to the end of the whip. And you see it glowing this rainbow opalescent color. And then,
Awesome.
Elijah, you just turn to Steve. What do you say?
The power is yours.
No.
Wrong set of teenagers.
I know, but I had
That is
to.
one of the versions of this game.
Well, he'll say, well, I don't know much about where you come from, but I know you know how to spike it.
Attitude.
And
Thank you.
playing with that, Steve, yeah, he'll take the controls and he'll specifically he'll like whip the head of the the ball up into the air, and
As
then
you're
the robot
doing
kind of
this,
does like
you see the coalescing lightning streaks coming through for the ultimate attack.
yep, and like the robot kind of like does like a hop and like spikes the ball like with its other hand.
Oh, nice. And you see the connect come through, and it's one of those hard, like it's a hard point in space, and then boom through it.
Can it go directly into the rook's head?
Yes.
Oh, because there's a hole.
Yeah, there's a hole in there.
And as it had fired, it had not gotten back up yet, and you see the ball of energy just boom down through the middle of it. And as it does, the brick mortar and snow and ice of this very festive seasonal rook is slowly shattering bit by bit by bit as it goes through and travels through and finally hits the ground with the most effects budget we've seen yet. And there is a large multicolored explosion from the back of it. And as there is, you see a little rook piece fly through the air, the eyes fade on it, and it cracks in half and lands on
Now
the
that's
ground.
what I call a diagonal.
Checkmate, mate.
Both
So we all
get
need to, like-
attitude as though it matters.
do a hand
I'm
motion,
full, but
and then checkmate, like as a group.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everybody's a group checkmate. Yeah.
yep. Steve, at the very least, specifically follows it up with the mate.
Yeah.
Everybody else's head kind of goes, what?
Were you late?
Of course, as the monster's blowing up, the robot like turns around and like strikes a pose.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
it turns its back to it. Yeah.
The because that's
Yeah.
about the most you can do in one of those giant suits. Very
Pretty
broad,
much.
wide movements.
Yeah.
What was that,
with
Michelle?
like
okay,
holding
yeah.
the whip.
Oh yeah. And with that, combat is over, and you have defeated the monster. So we're going to cut to all of you in your ranger suits still, facing off 4 against 1, standing facing each other.
Facing off. What did I miss?
Time to die, Kenny. No. You're all doing the standing facing each other as a like so, and it's kind of an awkward pause, and someone should break the ice for this.
Spin it. Let's begin it.
So
I
good
appreciate
to
that
meet
reference.
you, Tailspin.
Yeah.
So good work out there. Thanks for the assist.
And you too, mate.
I don't know if you know who we are. We'd kind of like to know who you are.
Specifically, I don't know how he accesses his pocket, but Steve pulls out the crystal that Elijah gave him earlier and like throws it to him. Is like, I think you know who I am.
Elijah's
Nope, still clueless.
I mean,
No.
like, come on, guys. Like, how many Australians are around here?
I
No,
like how Kenny's the voice of
I
reason.
got that. I meant like, who are you as a ranger? Yes, we all know he's
Yeah.
Steve. I'm referring to the ranger
What?
part.
No, it's Steve is going to open his watch and like remove the slap bracelet and like remove his morph form.
Dehension, yeah, and it pops out, and as it does, there's like a steam that comes off of Steve as he goes back into his normal slacker attire. Steamy
Yeah.
Steve, that's right.
Yeah. Elijah will demorph but keep the glasses and is just staring intently at, the device. Like, can I see anything? Probably not, but
Same.
Yeah.
Oishin will take off the helmet. So who are you a group of? I don't know how the proper grammar that, but okay.
Do you have a team?
That
I have a
works.
team. We're Ranger Team Slap Force.
I'm sorry, what?
Don't worry too much about it, all right? I didn't pick the name.
Yeah, we didn't either.
Like, giant head in a tube told us, like, just it's a thing.
Head in a
You
tube.
got a head too. We just got a weird, like, British AI voice.
We got a lady with a magnum.
Oh yeah,
And I guess that's pretty American. So
Yeah, that's pretty American, mate.
I was like, you got diamond too? Come on. And then you're like, we got a lady with a gun. I was like, I guess that is what I gave you.
Where
Yep.
has she
She's a
been?
weird lady with a gun.
She's been missing. Where is she?
No,
I don't suppose you've seen a lady with a gun in Australia.
not in
have you
Australia.
seen a white
no.
lady with a gun running around recently?
No, my team fights a villain called what is it, the Chess Master?
Yeah, it's the chess master.
Yeah, my team fights a villain called the Chess Master. I don't suppose he's your guy.
Never
No.
heard of him.
I don't really have like a name for our bad guy. We just fight like weird guys that come down and are like themed around like something
Wait a
that's
second.
happening.
So is
Dude.
there like a super villain that like brings other villains to you?
Do none of your enemies real people?
So
Elijah
to
just
answer
realized that
that
there was
question franchise-wise, because you would know, James. No, none of them are. They're inanimate objects that are given life.
Yeah, no, there are.
Usually board game related.
Yeah, I was going to say game pieces. Yeah, every time we've had to fight an enemy, it's been a game piece of some kind.
Oh no! Did you guys have to fight like an operation table, like a board where it's like buzzing obnoxiously and when noses line up?
What did
Oh, it's gonna be horrifying.
Is it
Or
water
just
on the knee?
Just a giant naked man with holes cut in him, bleeding. Anyway,
haven't fought one of them yet, no, but we did fight a Monopoly board one time, and let me tell you, that took hours.
I'd give you attitude, but you're full.
Eat it.
You think we're all full?
Yeah. I think y'all are doing great. I think you figured it out. Need to start giving you guys other things to spend attitude on. Well, no, you can just succeed better. It's up to
you. Would you use like 411 to like put, information together, or is that just kind of a thing?
You can do that. And you and Charles specifically have powers related to doing 411 that lets you not only put stuff together but declare things. So.
Okay. Because I was gonna do the 411.
Sure, go ahead. What are you wanting to know? Because you got an 11 because you're not untransformed yet.
Yeah. So then
that to myself.
I already know, but the fact that we also have an arch villain then, because so far we've never seen quote unquote the leader. So I'd like to put together that, hey, maybe we have a leader as well. Because we've always had people that were affected by other, villains that created people into monsters, but we never had like the arch villain, the super villain. So I would like if I can put that together.
With a 12 or 11, you can put that together. You heard a few things here or there about not failing them and various other declarations from the transformed people that you've seen so far, that that the people who are controlling them tend to be working for somebody else.
Okay. Then I'd like to say that as a scientific sounding hypothesis, and that we should be on the lookout for an even bigger boss than what we've been fighting.
I mean, if we're meddling in their plans, I'm sure they'll get mad enough to come say hello at some point, right?
Probably. So we should definitely be aware of that and be on the lookout for that.
I wonder if there's more of us. But not to be presumptuous.
How many are in your team, Steve?
5.
Oh, okay, same as us.
Actually, wait, no. Can you be a 3 team?
I can be. I can. I can be. Dino Thunder up here.
Yeah.
Ninja Storm.
Yeah.
Beetleborgs.
Love a good three. Love a good threesome.
3 on my team.
Yep. Oh, okay. So then it's different.
No, don't put that there.
Of course, one time our Red Ranger had a team up with a bunch of other Red Rangers. So.
Oh, really?
You weren't a ranger yet. You didn't get invited.
Oh, so
is that like an annual thing?
Is there a newsletter?
I'm in my 2nd season, so I don't know about you.
That is struck out on the writing room floor. That doesn't get written in.
Okay, so if there's 3 of you, but your Red Ranger has been with another Red Ranger or more. Wow, okay. This is definitely bigger than I thought, and I'm sure the rest of us.
Hey, do you guys have comics? Because apparently there was a comic about like our old team that was
our predecessors.
You don't have a comic yet, but there have been radio plays of older groups. Australia's a little behind sometimes.
Wow, thanks. Okay.
Hey, you guys aren't even allowed to have video games sometimes. It's weird.
That's fair. I'm just trying to think.
How did you figure out who your arch villain was?
Motherfucker just told you. I'm the chess master. Ha ha ha. It was at the end of your first season when you all had to transfer mechs because he did some dastardly thing that shifted the balance, etc., etc.
Yeah, okay. The chess master and his lieutenant actually teleported into our command center. They destroyed our computer and we couldn't summon our mechs anymore.
That can happen?
Happened to us.
Hmm.
Well, we better keep our place pretty secret.
Maybe
Then
We
that's
have a
Not to
Shield.
worry, we have a shield around our fortress.
Al, you have to promise me you will never die.
I wouldn't dream
There
of
you go,
it.
you got a shield. So nobody could, but a ranger could get in then.
Do electric
Shouldn't be a
sheep
problem.
dream?
What was that you said, Michelle?
Do electric sheep dream, which isn't quite the title, but there you go.
Yeah. And
yeah, we could have other rangers get in, I guess. If we can get in.
I think what
Although
he
we
was
all just
saying
kinda
was
walked in the front
only
door.
rangers can get in, so
yeah. Well, mostly.
that's you rolled a
Yeah.
crazy intelligence roll earlier. You know that's not the case for your place. Only teenagers can get in. Teenagers is the thing that's
Oh
restricted.
yeah, we did have a rave. Someone threw a rave at our hideout once.
A fucking rave at the command center. Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, it got like canceled, but it was going to be fun if it wasn't like a monster attack.
And you all talk on and on like this, laughing and being cheerful with each other. I think eventually you all chill out over, I don't know, you're not old enough for eggnog, so let's say hot cocoa in the
Of course.
lodge.
You get non-alcoholic eggnog.
Oh no, that means I gotta detransform. Ah.
So I have an idea.
Uh-huh.
Would all the other people wonder where we've been since we just all disappeared from the top of the
Are you gonna
mountain?
do it? Are you gonna do a keep your identity secret? Yeah, let's hear it.
Yes. So everyone, like, we're gonna, like, we might think that everyone's gonna question where we've been, and so, like, oh, what if one of us got hurt? So what if the team ends up pushing Oishin in a wheelchair with bandages, like the really stupid kind of like the head wrap.
You're a fucking mummy.
And like,
yeah,
and like the one arm that's like, you know, sort of like braced up for some reason. Like what does that do? And he's just like there's a cast on his leg. Like he's still got his pants on around the cast and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Elijah will definitely joke about removing your organs.
After he suggests this, she's just gonna be like, "And how are you gonna be better in a couple of weeks?"
Oh,
It's a TV show.
Oh, he gets a couple of weeks off school. Oh, you lucky duck.
Yeah, so that was just because the classic skiing episode always ends with somebody
Injured. Yeah.
injured and
It's a sprain.
bandages that don't make sense.
Yeah,
Just
it's
a
a
Yes,
sprain.
multiple sprains.
Sprain both ankles.
Rub some oil on it, you'll be fine.
That was that's why we were missing. Oishin hurt himself, fell down a mountain, and everybody took him to the hospital.
He just kept talking about that guy who did the thing, and then he didn't even notice he was going down the hill.
Just started falling backwards.
Yeah. I've had similar happen on a ski slope. It's not great.
But yeah, that's how I don't know. I've definitely seen shows that end.
I'm here for it. Definitely joking over a casted Oishin, everybody with their hot cocoa as we pan out of the window and out into the distance. We see a Bishogied chess master looking over the ball. Well, drat, I didn't expect them to be as capable as the other two. Dang. And you hear from the other side of the crystal ball, you're just as useless to me as all of my commanders. That's not fair. You didn't tell me there were 4 of them. I thought it was going to be a normal amount, so I sent a normal amount. Either way, I'm done working with you. And I'm done working with you. This is over. And both of them throw their hands to the side at the same time and close out their screens.
Two of their arms and say they're sorry. I'm the ace to tackle me. So you got the wrong buzz on both my knees.
All right.
And then the screen says to be continued.
It says, it just says the Green Ranger will return. ...
There you go.
And we go to a like a mixed collab of the endings for your show and Rose's show as we close out credits on this episode. This fun.
It's like,
go ahead.
it's like the standard credits for their show, but with a theme song from my show.
Yeah,
but like
yeah,
as it
yeah.
starts playing, like the credits like it come to like the half box as the advertisement for the next show is over here.
Yeah. You got your Fox Kids next up. And we pan out, and that is our very special crossover Christmas episode of Radical Robo Rock Rangers.
Woo!
Rockin'.
Yeah.
Well, did anybody have any questions? Everybody had fun, I hope. James,
yeah,
thank you
a lot
so
of
much
fun.
for playing with us.
No problem. Honestly, thank you for having me. I had a great time. I mean, fucking, I get to be the 6th Ranger, the Green Ranger on another team. I mean, yeah, like, you know, it's like a crossover episode, not a proper Green Ranger situation, but whatever, dream come true, right?
Absolutely. Glad that everybody had fun. When are we back, Michelle?
I mean, for something special, we all did it when we first started Row. What's your experience with?
Oh yeah, that's right.
whole...
I'm so sorry. Let's get this in at the end. Ro, what is your experience with Power Rangers and Morphin shows and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, sure. So oh my god, I would have been like 5 years old. Is like my very first memory. Is I was
I
hanging
hate
out
you
with
so
my
much.
The children these
Go-
days.
The children, oh. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, it would be like
Philip's almost 40.
Yeah, I was in
Same.
high school.
I'm 31, so I don't remember exactly how old I was, but I was very young, and that was like when like the very first season of Power Rangers was like, you know, a thing, and I think it was like in the second season because I remember my cousin had a bunch of action figures. You know, the Red Ranger, the Green Ranger was one of them. So not the
That-
White Ranger yet. I don't think the White Ranger was
the one where you
yet,
could pop
so
the chest plate off and you could put it on the other Rangers.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, so cool.
And just at the time, like, you know, fucking the colors and sounds and stuff, oh man, mind blowing. And as time went on, you know, I became a team with attitude, and I, you know, I was less interested. But then, you know, up until that point, I think I'd watched through a bunch of Power Rangers, and then I got up. Then you know, I'm in my 20s. I like to. I like to get drunk and watch children's programming because you know why not, right?
I've
Something
heard
to do.
great
And
things about Bluey.
Oh
yeah,
my god.
yeah, right. No, and Power Rangers Samurai actually got me back into it. So the shogi stuff I'm here for. No, because but like specifically Power Rangers Samurai was what got me back into it because it was the theme song, right? You know, like it's just the same theme song, but like you know, with the lyrics slightly changed, and they even have bulk in it, so it was like so much stuff that I remember from my childhood, and it just brought me right back in, and you know, so I've been a Power Rangers fan for a while.
Very cool.
In fact, you know, I feel a little bummed because like when I first agreed to actually join up, you know, I wanted the Green Ranger, but that was before the passing of Jason David Frank. Very unfortunate. Rest in peace. You know, and you know, I'm not gonna not use the Green Ranger because Tommy is by far my favorite Rangers character. I mean, you know, come on.
Oh yeah, he did, like for some reason it was able to like not only transcend from like the Green Ranger to the White Ranger and whatever, but he
Yeah.
just sort of stood out more like throughout
Yeah.
all the seasons, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, no, I mean, great character, great actor. Just a lot of fun, and like, I'm a big Power Rangers fan. I like the Rangies. You know, like most of the time, it's like when I'm talking about the kind of fiction I like something that's gritty, grounded, down to earth. But then I'm like, Power Rangers.
But also, I like the kick punch people who jump into the giant robots.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's like the conceit is right. You're making an agreement with yourself to suspend your disbelief, and you know, like normally, like the normal kind of superhero stuff, I don't normally get into. But Power Rangers, I'm just like, you know, it's like even in the first season of Power Rangers, it's like, oh yeah, they're the superheroes of Angel Grove, and I'm like, yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I will say that I think that there's a definite corollary to with Power Rangers and shows like that to like pro wrestling, in so much as a lot of people's conjecture against it was it's so unreal, it's fake, and it's like I don't care.
Oh,
I
totally.
enjoy it, and it's super cool. So why are you being so crappy about it? Because you also like superheroes. You also like all these other things. You just don't like that it's real people dressing up in costumes. That doesn't make any sense.
Or, I don't know. Yeah, I think a lot of the time it's just like the goofy kind of camera angles and the cuts and stuff. But that is a big part of the charm to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure, for sure.
But awesome. And
So
In fact,
to-
I love, in fact, James, that you do the cutaways to the villains. That is,
you gotta. They have to be
You
good.
gotta.
The villains got to be dorky, or else what's the point?
yeah. And they've got a pretty, like, I'm sitting there, like, as we're wrapping up, I'm just like, oh man, we're gonna get the cutaway. We're gonna see the villains scheming.
Yep.
just being pouty.
Just
Yeah.
like next time, Gadget.
What's that? Looks like a space dumpster.
All right. The next time we are supposed to meet is on January 1st, and I imagine we will not be here. We'll probably be dead. Just like,
Hungover.
yeah.
Come on, who
As
still gets
mentioned before, we're
hangovers?
all in our 30s. And we're going to be drinking, unlike our teenage counterparts. Hopefully,
Yeah,
although we may
I'm
have a
at a
special episode.
wedding.
Who knows? Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm not going
I-
to talk about my teenage counterpart.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, shh. No, shh. Don't give it away.
We have re-wedding that weekend, so
Okay.
All right. The
15th?
15th is the next after that. So in a month, we'll probably be back.
all right. And do you want to plug any of the other +1 shots stuff that's coming up?
Nothing else is coming up up until that week, probably.
Okay. Well,
But
and
watch
Actually,
Team Diablo, it's good.
yeah, watch
Yeah.
Diablo. It's fun. There's two very interesting characters who are very, very lovey-dovey sisters.
There's lots of interesting characters in Diablo.
Absolutely.
And Philip's game is fun and awesome also.
Thank you.
Yes.
But mine's the best one. So anyway,
Yes, of
everybody,
course.
thank
Of
you.
course.
Thank you so much for watching us tonight. Shout outs again to Kaylin, our friend who does the art for us. We have David Brunel Brutman who made TWA, and shout out to all of my wonderful players, Rangers. Thank you so much for participating and fighting evil and saving the town of whatever this skis resort was today. So
Yeah.
congratulations.
Some random
Snow Ridge.
Snow Ridge, yeah. Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
And
Should be like Sand Ridge, Sand Valley Mountain.
yeah,
Mhm.
Sand
If we
Valley
keep-
Mountain.
Mhm.
If we
Pass
if we kept it like rock themed, it could be like Gypsum Lodge.
Gypsum Lodge.
Yeah.
I like that actually. That's what we'll have it be. It was the Gypsum Lodge all along. You just couldn't see it because there was like a
tree
sign.
branch.
Bench with snow on it, covering the
Yeah,
sign.
yeah, it was snow covering the sign. a
All you
little
could see
bit.
was Lodge.
Stock footage is great. All right, and everybody who came and watched us, thank you so much for watching us. We look forward to coming back in a month to play even more, maybe with a more set schedule as we come out of the holiday season, because holiday is pretty hectic for a lot of us. But thanks everybody, and have a great night.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.